Want some rye? Course you do.
Kain refused the sacrifice.
Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. I am Bogus Meat Factory. Happy Monday everybody. Welcome Van Gaia. How are you today? I have Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver for Dreamcast and Defiance for original Xbox and the series on Steam. Yeah, we're playing Soul Reaver 2 today, which I'm very excited for. I had the first game, I played the demo of Blood Omen Legacy of Kain as a kid and I obsessed over it. I never got to really play the game. It had a lot of incompatibility issues on my computer at the time. Like, by the moment that I could actually play it, my computer was too advanced at that point, and we had issues trying to get it, like, working. But luckily, GOG had it released, and I was able to play that and love it. Lukester, welcome. Bitch! Thank you, my friend. So I didn't get an opportunity to play it, and then GOG came out, and I was like, oh, I have to. That's a must for me. It's one I've been on my bucket list for so long. It was so hard to get running on modern systems, and I didn't want to play the PlayStation version of it. And so we played that, and then I was like, well, I had Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver on Dreamcast, and I never came close to beating that game as a youth. And it was on that bucket list, and I was like, I really have always wanted to go through that series because I always found Nosgoth to be incredibly compelling world and really interesting world building and characters, and not to mention like the light shines, username unknown, welcome. And not only that though, but like the story behind its development, kind of the cut content of the series, and like that tumultuous development cycle that led to a lot of crazy things that I wanted to see this series in general, as they were, and make that judgment myself kind of without those things clogging up the noise of my like preconceived notions of what this game's gonna be, the series is gonna be, and really give it honestly a fair shot because it's one that I've always wanted to experience more of. And I remember my brother would rent like all the future games on PS2, and I'd play them and love them, but never get anywhere. And it's just such a cool place. It's such a cool place, and I hope, because there's been rumors about another one coming out, or a reboot of some kind, and I'd love to see what that's going to be like if they do that at all. We'll see. And I'm planning to buy Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 2 for PS2, Blood Omen 1 for PS1, and Blood Omen 2 for original Xbox someday. Yeah, I was going to say, I think Blood Omen 1 for PS1 is pretty pricey, but the other ones aren't too expensive, I don't think. It's been a while since I've looked into the retro market, in all honesty. Like, most of my collection of games, which some are on that bookshelf behind me, is mostly stuff that I had when I was a kid. I had a bunch of older brothers who had like a big disposable income, and they bought games like crazy, and then they just handed them down to me, which I've kept for forever. So many games. And but no, I'm really excited to do this one. We tried to play this a couple weeks ago, about a month ago, and we came across a lot of issues. The game was just the FMV cutscenes were really glitchy and running at a different resolution, but also the color palette was all warped and messed up. And then the controller support was non-existent. It said it had controller support, it didn't, and we couldn't play the game effectively. We did do Soul Reaver 1 with keyboard, but this one is a different control scheme altogether, and it was really messed up. We couldn't change it. So the game just was ultimately unplayable for us. But I found some patches, I got some stuff going. We played it on PC. This is the GOG version of it, of course. And so we got some patches going for it, and I'm super stoked to play through it all. So like, Van, I was like, have you beaten those ones? Like, have you gone through these, or like, or are you just like, I want to get the whole set first and plow through them all? Minty says, I'll be doing some more fishing later before I go to work. Oh, we're playing Animal Crossing, yes. Before I get in the first house upgrade, nice. Excited, Minty, and I'm glad that the shovel tree came out working properly. So I'm stoked about that, and I'm glad the leaves stay golden. That's really cool. All right, yeah, so I gotta navigate the menus with the keyboard. Let's listen. It's a big, long opening sequence, so bear with me. Suki, hello. Yes. They Victus. Let's go.
At last. I must say I'm disappointed in your progress. I imagined you'd be here sooner. Tell me, did it trouble you to murder your brothers?
Did it trouble you when you ordered me into the abyss?
Eternity is relentless, Raziel. When I first stole into this chamber centuries ago, I did not fathom the true power of knowledge. To know the future, Raziel. To see its paths and streams tracing out into the infinite. As a man, I could never contain such forbidden truths. But each of us is so much more than we once were. Do you not feel with all your soul how we have become like gods? As such, are we not indivisible? As long as a single one of us stands, we are legion. Our futures are predestined. Mobius foretold mine eons ago. We each play out the parts fate has written for us. Free will is an illusion.
I found the tomb of Sarafan, Kain. How could you profane a priest by turning him into a vampire?
How could I not? One must keep his friends close, Raziel, and his enemies even closer. Who better to serve me than those whose passion transcends all notions of good and evil?
The Sarafan were saviors, defending Nazgûl from the corruption that we represent.
A lot going on.
My eyes are open, Kain. I find no nobility in the unlife you rudely forced on my unwilling corpse.
You may have uncovered your past, but you know nothing of it. You think the Sarafan were noble, altruistic? Oh, don't be simple. Their agenda was the same as ours. You nearly had me, Raziel. But this is not where or how it ends. Fate promises more twists before this drama unfolds completely.
You mentioned the voice acting, Vanos Lagaya, and yeah, 100%. One of the big reasons why the game is so compelling is that voice of Raziel, for sure, without question. Especially with like kind of the almost epistolary delivery of the dialogue, which means like he's like a journal of his own observations, and it's kind of these great monologues that are just so powerful and so well done.
Redeemer and destroyer, pawn and messiah. Welcome, time-span soul. Welcome to your destiny. Where am I? Is the usual question.
So let's take it together. So Luxor says, I watched Legacy of Kain before the game is being played. Yeah, so like I did Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen, and Soul Reaver 1. That would have been about like almost a year and a half ago-ish? Year and a half. And really dig it. So like to give you kind of a base, like a little refresher course for folks who don't know. Like the story is that Kain is this he's like a nobleman who gets turned into a vampire against his own will, and seeks for mortality, goes around and hunts all of the protectors of these various the pillars of Nosgoth, and by murdering them all, he has the power, the decision to either restore like the power to control the pillars themselves, or destroy them. And that's you actually get to make that decision at the end of that game, but canonically he destroys them and embraces his vampirism, and then enthralls a whole bunch of like his generals, one of which is Raziel, and in the world now ruled by vampires, Raziel comes bearing like an evolution of his vampirism that Kain doesn't have. And in that fit of jealous rage, he murders him and thrusts him into this vortex, within which then this unknown, entity kind of resurrects him as a vengeful spirit, a wrathful spirit, to go and destroy all of the vampire generals, and essentially attempt to kill Kain himself. We learn about kind of Kain's origins of what he does in the moments after Blood Omen 1. Up to Soul Reaver, and it's really cool. It's really interesting. Gonna get some food, then gonna chill with some. Right, yeah, Path of Exile. By all means, Minty. By all means, my friend. Thank you for coming in. And so it's really cool to see like that this is the Time Lord, Time Master, or whatever he is. We theoretically killed him in Blood Omen, but time being the way that it is, it's a little messy. And so there's a whole lot of lore that's there. Like what you heard in that intro sequence is kind of a more dramatic recreation of the final showdown of Soul Reaver 1. And we learn about like, Kain, completely destroying these holy order of vampire hunters and taking where Raziel came from, which his origins he didn't remember. So anyways, here we are now, we're talking to the Time Lord.
Yes, when might be more apt.
Of course. Another
Very
long
well,
cutscene, by the
Snake.
way.
If you'd prefer I use my bare hands.
This is completely unexpected. This orb disables our vampire enemies, leaving them helpless and incapacitated. Strangely, it seems to have the same effect on that peculiar weapon of yours. But you must believe me. I mean you no harm.
You can drop the benevolent facade, Mobius. I know who and what you are. I should kill you where you stand.
Perhaps you should, my boy. But you don't.
Are you so certain of that, Mobius?
My role as Time Guardian affords me a certain level of omniscience, Raziel. No, you don't kill me. That honor belongs to your maker, Kain, some 30 years from now.
Ah, you two are a pair. You're just as fatalistic as he is.
Death comes for us all, Raziel. It's just a matter of time.
How is it that you know my name? We have never met.
On the contrary, Raziel, I know you very well. And it grieves me to see how cruelly Kain has used you. I knew you when you were one of the Sarafan Brotherhood, Raziel. We were even close.
Oh, please.
Fortunately, you need not love me now to be my ally.
You need not love me now.
Are we within the stronghold of the Sarafan priesthood?
Yes, but the glorious days of the Sarafan have long since passed, I'm afraid. This is a more cynical and indecorous age. My mercenary army now inhabits this stronghold. We strive to honor the memory of the Sarafan with our own humble crusade.
Is this the vampire Vorador?
Yes, the scourge of the Circle, the most depraved and decadent example of his whole degenerate
He started
race.
it all.
He slaughtered 6 of my fellow Guardians as they cowered defenseless in this room.
Wow.
And you somehow survived this
Very
mess.
beginning of Blood Omen.
I and 2 others. The Circle was devastated. Only we 3 were spared.
How convenient. You'll forgive me if I don't naively devour every scrap of information you toss me. You have a reputation for deceit.
And who has slandered me so? Your malefactor, Kain? The one who betrayed and destroyed you? Our common enemy? Consider the source before you judge me too harshly. We'll forget about rekindling our old friendship then. But consider an alliance based on our common ground. We both want Kain dead. I can help you do it.
You don't want to meddle in this, old man. I know all about your sordid little schemes, but you're simply out of your depth on this one.
You underestimate me, Raziel. Let me show you.
Extreme close up. How's it going, Lip? It's good to see you, my friend.
Even now, Kain is lying in wait for you, unaware that I've snatched you out of the time stream and brought you here to me. See how he lingers at the very pillars he is destined to destroy, foolishly confident that he has eluded your grasp.
The pillars are still standing in this time.
Yes, Raziel. They are the embodiment of the divine force which preserves the life of our world. We who serve the pillars maintain their delicate balance, and Kain is destined to be the fulcrum upon which that balance turns. I believe you have already endured the wasteland wrought by his terrible, selfish decision. Kain's very existence is a cancer upon this world. As long as he lives, all of Nosgoth is in peril. You may never again be human, Raziel. But you can re-embrace the essence of your humanity and the nobility of your Sarafan heritage. Go to him, Raziel, and end this. But first, you will need to find your way out of the stronghold, and in this, I'm afraid I cannot help you. My soldiers will not understand your appearance here. They will try to kill you. You needn't fear them, of course. They're no match for you. Try to keep the casualties to a minimum. But do what you have to do. All great movements require a few martyrs.
I'm not evil. Head down, eyes up. Kill all my men. Even though I could totally tell them not to, like, kill you, but it's cool.
Alone now, I surveyed my surroundings and noticed a second time-streaming chamber. Its entrance identical to the first, but with one distinction. That crystal was significant, but how? I had not yet discovered.
Finally. Wow, that is a long cutscene. That's like a 15-minute long opening. Nonchalant Nate, how are you today? And Liv, by the way, I love the quote. Shut your clay face from It Takes Two. Oh, such a great game. Hold on, do I get a first-person view? I don't think so. Okay. So yeah, this is all talking about that original vampire and essentially murdering the entire circle. This kind of prophetic thing. And, alright, so we've got our jump. We have, suck up souls. We've got our quick punches. Our duck. With our jump. For a high jump. Strong attacks. And I believe this is right triggers lock on, block, and our camera. Making my way back up the chain. I'll probably miss midweek though. Don't worry about it, Lip. You're okay, dude, my friend. Don't worry about the streaks, and thank you for the streak as well. Nonchalant says, I'm well. I just figured out how to make a cheap version of a stream deck using HID macros. I'm trying to streamline everything. Nonchalant Nate, let me know how that goes. A cheap version, I want to know. Bedwa Blackburn, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you. One of your favorite series. Yeah, we have played through Soul Reaver 1 and the original Blood Omen, and had a blast with them. They're very good. And I wanted to go through the whole series. Action to open. What is it? There's just seconds. Yeah, please, Nonchalant Nate. I would love to see that. Okay, so you can grab this with action. Cool. I'm guessing this is lock on, right? Yeah. Okay. Then jump. Okay. This is our. There we go. Look at that. Suck it up. Okay. Yeah, so this is my first time playing this one. We attempted to play it previously, and it just had a lot of glitches because it's the PC version, so it had issues. Oh, sorry. Ooh. Luxor started Bayonetta. How is that? How's that going? So far, at least. Was there a doorway over here? No. I loved the first one, and I always loved the world of Nosgoth. It's such a great world. It's so vibrant and interesting. Even in those moments, folks, even those moments where like people are like, oh, you know, first-person multiplayer. Can I? Okay. I don't have to do anything special to kill these guys, like in the first game. Even in Nosgoth, like the game Nosgoth, I know, but like, oh jeez. I want it to be left trigger so bad, this thing. All right, so we got this right here. So, Bedwell Blackburn, which one's your favorite out of the whole series?
Throughout the stronghold, I discovered evidence of my former nobility and my life as a Sarafan priest. This was the heritage so foully stolen from me when Kain raided my sacred crypt and defiled me.
I own it. We'll get to it eventually for sure.
Here's one.
Oops. Wow. Heck. Should have blocked. Getting used to the controls. Still getting used to them. There we go. Gotta use the dodge more often. There we go. Nice. Yeah. I have Soul Reaver 1 on my Dreamcast, but I also have the whole series on PC now at this point through GOG. And yeah, absolutely fantastic series without question. Absolutely fantastic. What I've experienced so far. I mean, I haven't beat this one yet. I haven't beat Defiance or Blood Omen 2, but I played them as a kid. Never got very far, but I've always we're going back to the way we came. Enraptured by that world. And it helps. We were just talking about like kind of the voice acting. And when we like, everybody will always sit there and just say like, hey, gameplay. But while the gameplay of Legacy of Kain, the whole series, is really good, there are things that are elevated by it that make it, I feel, iconic. And the biggest one is the voice acting. Raziel's and the dialogue, right? Raziel's kind of monologues for these must be in special form. His dialogue for these moments that are, kind of monologues and epistularies almost. Epistolary is like a journal kind of structure to it. It really sells that world. It sells that character, and it makes everything feel very much alive. Okay. So we got to figure out how to get into special form. I forget. There we go. Here we go. That's the map. Shift. Blood Omen 2 is woefully underrated. I remember because I had much older brothers, so they were like what kind of got me into okay, cool. Got me into that series. They had a much more they had an expendable income, and I was so much younger than them, so I got to play these games
Away
through
from
them.
the influence of Mobius's cursed staff, I could feel the strength of the Soul Reaver slowly returning. If that orb was as debilitating to vampires as it was to the blade, it gave Mobius a powerful advantage over his enemies. I finally understood how Mobius's crusade could decimate the vampires so successfully. If he could immobilize his enemies, they were at his mercy. But why, I wondered, would the staff have any effect on the Reaver?
And I think what happened, and I'm gonna figure this out by actually playing the game, but I am starting to think that through how I've experienced the game so far. Come on now. Is that the series was a victim of circumstances on like misconceived perceptions of the game, like of the series. Oh my god, I've been wrong. Getting used to the controls still. PC controls are a little wonky because I feel like reviewers are like, these games are coming out too quickly and they don't have the same, they're not the same as, as Soul Reaver 1 when I played it, and like, I honestly feel that reviewing the series now without that zeitgeist affecting people's perception of what the series is and its quality is probably a lot more helpful for me and for other people too. We're kind of interested in this to see like, hey, is this good?
Here it comes.
It's hard for me to play games in the moment, like in that moment when the game had just come out. There's very few instances of it, and folks who are normal to the channel can totally attest that, like, I do not play the game like a game I'm really excited for usually the moment it comes out, with rare exception. And it usually takes me like a year to kind of let things settle down, and I can start to better enjoy the game without all the noise of everyone talking about it and kind of putting in their 2 cents. Because I usually find that a lot of people are going to have, everybody has their own values of what they value in games. Everybody has, you know, these criteria that they think are what make a game good to them. And it can really make it hard for an individual to be like, do those values line up with me? Is this a game that I'm going to enjoy based on what everyone's saying about it? And it's those moments when you just take that step back and let yourself just play it with no other noise, no other commentary about those games, and let yourself just enjoy it for what it is and see if it clicks or not. And so far with my experience with this is that, like, very enjoyable. I've really enjoyed the dungeon designs in the first Soul Reaver. Like, it was a lot better than I remember. It's like I struggled with that stuff and like navigating the world. God, I'm terrible at this game. I'm terrible at this right now. Come on, dude. Sorry. The tapestry series of this series is woven much more intricately than I think many people realized at the time, which certainly tainted following and enjoying the game. One of those things too, and you bring up a really great point, is that, like, the plot can feel very convoluted at times for a lot of folks, especially if there's distance between the games that you're playing. And when you get the opportunity to kind of play that series from beginning to end, you start to see the similarity, like you see the game, you see its plot a lot easier. Like, for instance, right, we're in that little Time Lord, the Time Guardian chamber, and you're seeing those big murals of like the first vampire dude. It's like, oh, that's from Blood Omen 1. Like, that's from the original Blood Omen. And the stuff that the Time Guardian's talking about is sort of true. A little bit of it has changed. It's not exactly what happened in those events, but still, like, if you played just Soul Reaver 1, you don't have that context. And it's fat. Oh wait, I'm going back. Am I going back to meta game? I'm not a smart man some days. And so you start to, like, really see those narrative plot points kind of take shape, and actually show that, like, oh, this game absolutely had a through line that was comprehensible. It's just that people judged it based on their only experiences with the Soul Reaver series and nothing else. And to do so also sometimes completely separated from the series. So, like, an individual who's reviewing it is only playing that one game and hasn't played the rest of the series. And so, like, yeah, that plot's gonna seem really difficult to parse, but it's not. Just figuring out what I need to do here. Sorry. Again, we're getting our sea legs right now, and that is us trying to understand, like, what does the game want us to do? How does it want us to do these things? How do we proceed?
As I neared the stronghold's inner sanctum, a strange sensation crept over me. An indescribable feeling of displacement, a sense of vertigo, as reality itself appeared to warp and bend around me. The disturbance seemed to emanate from the sanctuary's furthest chapel. As I cautiously approached, The sense of dislocation intensified with each step. So this was the tomb of the beloved King William the Just, beatified here as the martyr and catalyst of Mobius's crusade. I was reminded of Kain's journey as a fledgling vampire, how Mobius coerced him to travel back in history and assassinate William, thus igniting a genocidal hatred of vampires among the citizens of Nosgoth.
Yep, I remember this. First game.
And here I discovered the source of the displacement. The Soul Reaver itself, laid out like a holy relic, and broken, apparently in the battle between William and Kain. I had not thought such a thing was possible. Until, of course, Kain shattered the blade against me when he tried to strike me down. Thus, the captive spirit inhabiting the Reaver was released, and binding itself to me became my symbiotic weapon. And so the Reaver met its former self, still imprisoned in this corporeal shell. I watched, mesmerized, as the Wraith blade uncoiled itself and snaked down the length of the physical blade. Embracing its twin, its mirror self, the Reaver's long dormant spirit was now fully aroused. And for the first time, I felt the true presence of this other entity, willful, ravenous, and deranged from thousands of years of imprisonment. The Reaver was now in command, and I, now merely its helpless host, felt my soul being leached to restore the blade. But the Reaver knew better than to destroy its host, and just as I neared the brink of oblivion, the blade released its hold on me. As I recovered, I realized we were now bound together in a fragile alliance. The Reaver no longer merely my symbiotic weapon, but a sentient parasite competing for control.
What have you done to me, Mobius? Is this your trap?
How mine? Don't forget it was Kain who led you here, not I. While you curse me, the only soul in Nosgoth ready to guide and assist you, Kain laughs at our folly and revels in your dismay.
These blades, now coiled in sinister embrace, have inspired terror in the hearts of creatures far more durable than you, old man. Bound together as they are, I can only imagine what they could do to your soul's
That face.
fragile shell.
Raziel, I beg you to stay your hand. This was none of my doing. I have sought only to aid you in your righteous quest.
Why, you're trembling, Mobius. Has your confidence abandoned you? You seem to have made a fatal error by leaving your precious staff behind. Is that where all your courage comes from?
Listen to me, Raziel. You don't know what you're doing. I have taken an enormous risk by appearing here before you, so defenseless, yet eager to prove my good intentions. If there's anything left of the Seraphim in you, you won't do this. While you threaten me, your true enemy eludes you.
Don't concern yourself with Kain, old man. He'll join you in hell soon enough. As you said,
It's in from a different time.
death comes for us all.
Yes, the wheel of fate demands it.
What did you say?
The wheel of fate. The inexorable cycle of death and rebirth to which all men are compelled. We serve the same God, Raziel. To strike me down would be striking God's own attendant. And I don't believe even you would take that risk.
I tire of your games, Mobius. Now that I know you fear me, I needn't concern myself with you. Kain is waiting for me.
Go then, Raziel. Seek Kain out and destroy him in the name of the one God we both serve. You, who were once a Seraphim priest, murdered, profaned, destroyed, and reborn again from his mercy. You are now most powerfully equipped to be his agent, his instrument of restoration and retribution.
My own vengeance is motivation enough.
Zoink!
By my soul, you almost had me, my little blue assassin. But that'll be the one and only chance you get. I assure you of that.
Oh my.
I could now summon the blade at will, regardless of my strength. But once summoned, the blade's ravenous appetite could not be contained. It devoured the souls of its victims.
Yep.
And if I allowed it to become over-aroused, the Reaver would now turn its hunger on me.
This was like the case in the first Blood Omen. I remember when we got the Soul Reaver in Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen Legacy of Kain, I like freaked out because I was like, oh my god, like there is this connection here, because I didn't know it at the time. And that was part of why it was one of the biggest impetuses to playing Blood Omen in the first
this was
place.
the legendary Janos Ordrin, reputed to have been the most ancient and diabolical vampire to have ever existed. According to folklore, he lived high in the cliffs of Nosgoth's northern mountains and preyed mercilessly on the defenseless villagers below. His reign of terror ended when the Sarafan finally hunted him down and tore his throbbing heart from his still-living body. This relic came to be known as the Heart of Darkness, and was supposedly imbued with the power to restore vampiric unlife. The Sarafan therefore guarded it carefully, lest the heart fall into the hands of their enemies. But I wondered, could Janos Ordrin truly have been as monstrous as depicted here? Or was this merely artistic license by the Sarafan, who sought to lionize themselves by demonizing their darkest enemy?
Lionize by demonize. Yeah, I played the original just so I could see those connections, if there was any. Because I had, for the longest time, always felt that they were so disconnected from each other that they couldn't have been, in some way connected. And, you know, to add to this feeling of like, oh, these games are very different and not even remotely like the same. That they don't belong together side by side. But by playing Blood Omen, there was so much connection, and there was a lot of that context that you need to see those motivations of those characters. Okay, so we can't go that way. Hold on. I'm totally lost. I'm trying my best. I think I can open those other doors now, maybe? So we can summon the blade now if we want to. And it's interesting because like the Time Guardian really doesn't make much of an appearance in the first Soul Reaper. It definitely does in this one. And that's like interesting to see. Oh yeah, I gotta suck up those. No, I cannot open this door, can I? Oh, do I need... Hold on. I'm wondering if the sword is needed for opening some of these things, because sometimes that happens. Right? Oh, and it's got a timer too. Oh, I see. That builds up. Okay. So if it goes full, it's going to start hurting us. Where the heck am I supposed to go? Is there a door here I'm missing? Most likely. Alright, so... he's there doing his thing. There it is. There's the door. Forgive me on my meandering. One of the things that's always tough for me in the very beginning of these games, of any games in general, is just always kind of getting your footing. I always like to start fresh with like no preconceived notions of the game or like how the game should be played, and just trying to get my footing, figure out the rhythm. It takes a second, but then okay, no, hold on. Devour soul plus devour soul. Oh, so I can just turn it off. Oh, that's cool. sucks it up. Interesting. But you're not playing it the right way. Yeah, no. Like, for me, it's always, like, whenever coming into these things, I'm never one who's going to be like, I know how to play this game, and I know what I can do and what I should do.
Strange how my history came full circle. This chapel, I realized, was a memorial to my former Sarafan brethren and myself. All of us martyred here. And then so cruelly profaned by Kain when he imposed his gift on our noble corpses. For the first time, I beheld the image of my Sarafan self, memorialized here among my fallen comrades. It tortured me to see how noble and pure I had been, and what a vile phantasm I had become. And a profound sense of injury, of loss and betrayal welled up in me, so overwhelming I could barely contain it. All I wanted at this moment was to find Kain and destroy him.
Yeah, so like I never like to, I always like to fumble a little bit at the expense of like really kind of figuring out what clicks and what doesn't for combat and stuff. Oh my gosh, my butt kicked. There we go. Oh gosh, dude. Raziel, buddy. Oh, up was the head. Don't mind me, I'm just sucking up your friend's soul. It's not Sheila's soul, it was a really cool soul. Not right, dude. Yeah, I like to fumble to figure it out and not try to blame things on the game when clearly, like, I'm coming in with a preconceived notion of how this game's supposed to be played. And because I see that happen so many times where people are like what a great example of this is one of my all-time favorite games, The Outer Wilds. Not The Outer Worlds, The Outer Wilds. The game is like meant to be played on a controller. And it says so very much like, hey, your gameplay experience is going to be greatly hindered if you attempt to play this with a mouse and keyboard. And so many people being like, playing mouse and keyboard for life. And then struggle with the game, like, game's ass. It's like, no, dude, like, you literally saw the warning and you said, nah, I'm good, I'm better than that, and like struggled. Outer Wilds, one of my all-time favorite games. I tell you, that is a good game. Hold on, am I going backwards again? Okay, oh my gosh, this is very disorienting in this first part. Outer Wilds is a brilliant game, and it's just so wild to like watch people struggle with it. I dislike Outer Wilds for a number of reasons, but have we had that conversation? I do not think we have had this conversation, and it's okay if you disagree. Like, I'm very curious. I'm very curious now because I love these conversations with you, Hesh. And again, like, that is, if you don't, one of those things that I also stress is like, if people don't like the game, like, that's fine. Everybody values something different, and our experiences are also nuanced to our own gameplay. Like, what happened for us? What did we pick up on? What did we not pick up on? And why? And a lot of times that is an individual situation, or it could be a more like a endemic nature of the game design. It's not a good bad analysis. I just really didn't like the way it treats the player. No explanation, deaths are a big no-no for me in gaming. Yeah, okay, so, okay. I totally get this. Hesh. One of those things that's tough for a lot of folks, you know, there is one core philosophy that a lot of people stick to, and it is one of the most steadfast ideas, that learning through death is bad. And that's, like, you know, almost across the board, people have that ideology, and that's okay. Like, I get it. Time is important. We only have so much time. And that's the thing where, like, in I don't was learning from death. I just wasn't learning anything from your deaths. And that I can understand too. Like, that makes sense. If they're not communicating that properly to you, that's also problematic as well. You know? At least give us that opportunity to be able to see that and then assess that on our own. You know? But for a lot of folks, death is a hard thing for them. Like, they're like, I do not accept having to die and learn from death. And that is a game that is all about that. That's for sure. But it's no, like I do not blame you at all.
And for the first time beheld Nosgoth in its former glory. The land overflowed with abundant life and vitality. And I knew with certainty then that the world I had left behind was nothing more than the corpse of Nosgoth, a lifeless husk bled dry by the corruption of Kain's parasitic empire. This was the fragile world Kain sacrificed to preserve his own petty life and ambition, heedless of the profound cost. The sight only deepened my resolve. I sensed that the pillars lay to the northwest. If Kain truly waited to confront me there, I would not disappoint him.
And again, shout out to Hesh Valentine. A great streamer, good friend, very talented gamer, loves to play a lot of crazy stuff you don't normally see. So stuff like edutainment games and like old school edutainment games, stuff like stuff on like the old like Apple II and Amiga, crazy stuff that you don't normally see, and really kind of digs deep into a lot of really obscure games and comes in with a really entertaining eye, to say the least. I actually enjoy watching other people play Outer Wilds, by the way. I just bounce off it hard every time. And again, what the heck is happening with this game? This is so wild. This game, its resolution has changed a lot. Come on, let me see this. It changes regularly, which is kind of crazy for me. Let me shorten this down just a tad bit, sorry. So that we can see everything. There you go. But did you play mouse and keyboard or did you play controller, Hesh? That's the real question. Did you play mouse and keyboard or did you play controller? I totally just botched that. Oh, that's right. We can't swim, can we? Oh, we can swim. Absolutely. Yes. Keyboard first, then controller on second attempt. Hesh, we're no longer friends. And then third and fourth. And I get it. Like, there are so many games that I have played in my lifetime. There are so many games in my lifetime that has not clicked with me, that all of a sudden, randomly, at certain moments in time in my life, absolutely clicked with me. And why is that? Like, what makes that happen? And that's the thing that is...
As I passed this arcane landmark, a wisp of the Reaver's energy was drawn into the ring, illuminating it. This created a beacon of sorts in the spirit world. If ever I found myself depleted in the spectral realm, and my soul tossed on the ethereal winds, these beacons would draw me back to safety and restore me.
Call a checkpoint. I always mention Metal Gear Solid as a game that like never clicked with me for so long, and I tried so many times and it never clicked. And then one year it did, and I had a great time, a fantastic time. And like, what in the world caused that rift and division? And for me, in that particular case, the answer was actually incredibly simple. And I'm not saying that this is some kind of blanket statement about everything. This is just for my particular thing. This is that I came in finally like a clear mind, because I came in the first time expecting it to be like a Splinter Cell game. I played Splinter Cell. I love stealth games. Splinter Cell, Thief, like those types of stealth game, and it's not. And then from there, it sullied my concept of what this game was, and I just came in just assuming and being presumptive about it being just ass, and then so that made it harder and harder for me to enjoy that game. And then finally, at a moment of me just kind of putting aside that hubris, that chip on my shoulder, and just kind of letting the game be, and it ended up enjoying it a ton more, which is crazy because like I enjoyed stuff like Snatcher and Police Knots and that sort of stuff. So even though it's still a very different game, it's still very much a Kojima game. All right, so let's head on over here. And so sometimes a lot of my level of enjoyment of a game is predetermined by myself. It still hinges on what's going on in my brain and how do I come into this game and try to understand it. And so now, after having kind of those revelatory moments, like I definitely come into games now drastically different than I did when I was younger, and that helps me like so much more. It benefits me greatly to be able to approach that game now with better eyes. Teaching me to jump. Okay. Well, what the hell was the point of this? Didn't really do much there. It's surprising that like I'm able to be in water, because I think in the first game when you got in water you died immediately. Oops. No, dive down. Okay, so what's weird is when you push the jump button without doing the crouch button, you dive down.
These ancient obelisks were mysteriously attuned to my spiritual essence. By simply touching the symbol, I could safely preserve an imprint of my soul, and thus create a milestone to which I could return when weary, and from which I could resume my journey.
I believe things like this were actually in Blood Omen as well. But this is in that. Was this in Soul Reaver 1 like this? I don't think it was exactly like this. But this was definitely like this in Blood Omen, I think. It could be completely off base, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, so... yeah, so that's like, you gotta use the special ability that we don't have right now to get to that point.
While I had only just escaped the stronghold, I sensed that in time my journey would return me full circle to this place. Infiltrating the fortress, however, would be no small feat. The balcony that had provided my escape was now well beyond my reach, leaving this massive gateway as the only means of entry. The gates were sealed, but like the time-streaming chamber I had seen earlier, their operation was undoubtedly linked to that odd crystal mounted above the entrance.
Okay. Interesting. Oh, hi there. You okay? Oh, man. Oh, that poor person. Hi. Oh, God. Come on. There you go. Full health. I'll take it. Oh, okay. He's waxing with his cannon. Alright, dude. Thank you. The camera's very snappy. Like, I move it and it tries to always go back. So I'm just kind of fighting the camera. Come on, dude. He waited very patiently. Thank you, sir, for waiting so patiently. Oh! This is how effective combat is without doing lock-on. It's not as good. But Hesh, what were you playing last, if you're still around? What have you been playing lately? Oh, God, dodge, dude. It's hard to, like, not... Like, these typical types of games, like, X/square is, like, the button for attacking, and it is not. On stream, I actually did a microzine last week. Nice! Microzines are great. Speedruns of Below the Root. What is Below the Root? Below the Root. Hold on, I know Below the Root. Is that the game that, like, the level is just a giant tree? It's an older game, right? Below the Root. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've never played it. Commodore 64, open world platform adventure thing? Yes. Ah, crap. Ads are coming in. Alright, I need to take a break. I need to get a drink of water. I'm going to be back in just a second. I absolutely need to get a drink. I'll be right back. Woo. Man, I'm glad you love the Dark Sun art. I love it too. All the bad MS Paint artwork of all the cover arts of the games we played this year. Like, that was a big goal for me, and I'm very excited to, like, follow through with that. It's been very silly, but I love it. I love it unironically. Alright, hold on, let's...
There's one.
Oh, jeez. And man, oh, Hesh. As I'm playing right now, Gothic, as you know, like, as my big long game, my big beefy game. We're getting closer, about halfway done with the game. Dude, that game gets infinitely easier. We learned our cheese strats. We've learned some cheese strats. But also, like, if you just cheese lockpicking in that game, you get so much stuff. and we were like invincible. The key thing, and this is the big one. Hold on. The key thing that made that game infinitely easier is to not grind. Don't grind. For the love of God, do the quests that they give you, right? Do all the quests they give you. Don't push the boundaries at all. Respect the boundaries. If something one-hit kills you, don't go there. The key was the moment that we hit chapter 2. So it's one of those things where it's like, this game gets better if you can put up with the errands in the starting town. Yes. So like, I joined Pot Camp, right? I joined the Weed Heads in Swamp Town. And I did the quests, I did all the quests for Old Town, some of the quests in New Town, and all the quests for Swamp Town. So I got a bunch of XP from that, right? For just doing the quests. But when it's time to join something and commit, I committed to Swamp Town because I thought it was just a ridiculous concept. But once you do that, chapter 2 begins, they give you armor, and all those things that one-hit kill you now are things that you can tackle. And you will have now gotten weapons that could handle them. And like the game just becomes really easy. Surprisingly so. The one issue that I have, it's a big one, is that I came across a game-breaking bug. A really serious one, where I had to cheat to kind of circumnavigate it. The next set of armor that I was supposed to get through the progression wouldn't trigger. So like I had to go to a character to do that, and they wouldn't offer it to me. I checked online. That is a real bug. It's a real thing. If you talk to certain people out of order, it triggers, and I couldn't get the armor, so I had to spawn it. Because I couldn't progress the story at all. And like, that sucks. That sucks. And it's wild that still exists today. When people tell you that games back in the day were better than new ones because they didn't release broken, I'm just gonna sip my Kermit tea. Because that's bullshit. And we all know this. Hesh, you know this. You know this, that old games absolutely release broken. And we're a pain in the butt to get working sometimes. And like, old games not broke. Yeah, especially when you're in the PC realm. Holy smokes, man. Oh, what the heck is this thing? Excuse me? What the heck was that? Exactly. They are very specific in how they want you to play. But you can, but there's the thing is, you can cheese things still. Like, you can still cheese things. And cheese strats are very important. They just make things a little easier. But, like, the natural progression of the game, like, you have to pick up that that's what they want you to do, and to stick with that. Like, stick with the natural progression. Cheese made it so games didn't take 2 years to finish. Exactly. But, yeah, I would never say, oh, Gothic is, the greatest game ever, and everybody should like that game. It takes a certain type of player. It takes a certain type of patience. And, we talked about this, and I think that our previous discussion with you, Hesh, on Gothic really did, like, help me in understanding that line between fun of fun and fulfilling. And like, there are games that are just straight fun, there are games that are just straight fulfilling, and I feel that a truly great game is one that does both. Gothic is not a game that is fun. Is it fulfilling? It feels great to like accomplish those tasks and like actually feel powerful and do stuff, and it feels great to do that, and it feels fulfilling. But the game's not necessarily fun. Satisfying, yeah. Satisfying. You're feeling like, oh, I have accomplished something. Like, whoa, we did it. We've overcome that challenge, and that feels great. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the game is fun. Lip says, I can kind of see both sides. One of my annoyances with modern games is that being incomplete is part of the design. For example, I feel like several games have left their ending open for DLC in a way that makes the base game feel underwhelming. And if that DLC never materializes, it is that much more of a letdown. Oh, I agree, Lip. Nate says, playing modern games can make it harder to go back to old games just because of the increased player quality of life. It's true, Nate. I actually, how I kind of phrase it, I think that this may be a bit more accurate of a description. It's just that modern gaming has kind of refined the mechanics, the controls, the camera, these sorts of things now to a fine point, but they've also done the same for mechanics and pacing and structure of a game. And that's where the problems lie. There's a lot of different tools that you need to play games. And in modern games, those tools are a lot less than what they were back in the day. You talk about like how you approach a text adventure game versus how you approach, a platformer. And now in modern day gaming, the tools you need for a platformer, the tools you need for an action RPG, the tools that you need for an Assassin's Creed game, like those are all fairly similar. And that was drastically different back in the day. And that's why they have that argument of like Dark Souls, right? And like Dark Souls games and that sort of that. It's just utilizing a very different tool set of how you approach that game mechanically. And a lot of people don't have that, or they haven't exercised that. And that's tough. Lip says it's double-edged too. Some modern games expect you to use so many buttons. There was a happy middle ground where there's a limit to the number of buttons that was just right for me. Yeah, Lip. I mean, like old school PC games can be victims of way too many buttons. Spaceflight Sims, baby. There's a million. And I loved it, but there's a million. You had to have like an overlay on your keyboard for it to understand it. But yeah, no, I totally do. I get it. Bedwell Blackburn says, sometimes, then again, I do have a different lens on newer games as I've gotten an NES, SNES, N64, Genesis, PS2 sitting beside me. Find it more satisfying to play one of those versus something on my Steam Deck sometimes. Yeah, it just was just typing, remember keyboard overlays? Oh, baby, do I. Oh, baby, do I. Bedwell Blackburn, you bring up a great point, too, about, like, console versus PC, right? And they're two very different types of games, and I apologize again for folks who want to watch this game. I do apologize. I do rant. I rant endlessly. There are very different styles of games that you get, right? And especially like when you get into that realm of like, when you start talking about Genesis versus SNES, like the types of games that are on Genesis versus the types of games that are on SNES, you can very much see that difference. And it's kind of fun to see that the Genesis has a little bit more in common with the PC crowd of games because of its like ports of games like King's Bounty, Buck Rogers, and then games like Rings of Power, which were very much meant to be on PC. But it's interesting. I grew up playing DOS games. I played Mega Man DOS before it was a meme. Same here. Bedwell Blackburn, my mom was a notorious bargain binner. She would buy games at garage sales, anything that she could if it was cheap. And so I remember, because when I was a kid, and I've told the story a million times, but I'll say it again, just for you. When I was a kid, no one would let me play their NES. Didn't have one, but everywhere we went, I couldn't touch the NES. I would break it. And kid me was so mad about that because I was using an Apple II GS by myself. Like, I was running an Apple II GS on my own, and it drove me crazy, and I was so pissed off about it. And so my mom, like, knowing that, would get me, would see Mega Man on PC, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the NES game, ported over on PC, Double Dragon 3, the Rosetta Stones, had all of those games. And they were terrible. Dexter! Bedwell Blackburn, Dexter on the Apple II GS. I played Dexter. Oh, yeah. Hold on. I gotta make sure it's right, if I'm remembering this correctly, because Dexter was the one that has boom, 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 the classical music at the beginning, right? Published by Sierra at the time. Am I wrong in this? Dexter. Because that was the one I played that. Yes, it is. Is it? Hold on. Yes, it is. It absolutely is. That's the game. Played that on my Apple II GS as a kid. That game was freaking hard as a kid. I had no idea how to play it. It says, yeah, I remember playing Mega Man DOS as a kid. I thought it was some crazy bootleg thing that no one else knew about for a while. Dexter 2 Firehawk was the one you played. Hey, man. Dexter was good. There was something else. That was so crazy. Because at that time, I was only like 4 when I was playing the original Dexter, and I had never, the concept of Japan did not exist for me. So I had never played a Japanese game. I'd never played anything of that style. And when I saw that, I can turn into from a robot man to a plane? Like my world was completely set on fire. My world was completely set on fire. It was great, dude. It was so great. But I grew up with all of it. So I grew up with, on...
These vampires had nothing in common with the deranged jackals I left behind in Kain's derelict empire. They seemed to retain much of their former humanity. In this era, vampires were clearly not the uncontested predators we had been. These creatures were hunted mercilessly and oppressed. And while I still believed that vampirism was a plague and had to be wiped out, there was nothing noble or righteous in this crusade. This was simply ruthless persecution.
But no, I love, man. So growing up, like both as a console kid and as a PC kid, getting to experience all that stuff again, because like I said, I had much older brothers that had an expendable income, and my parents were low class, like we were lower class. My dad like drifted from town to town, job to job, and we had an aunt who was very wealthy. She married into a bunch of money, and she would always, Christmas and birthdays were the best times ever, and that's how we got like our games. Most like my Sega CD, my Model 1 Sega CD came from her, and like I'm positive that Apple II GS came from her, because I don't know how my parents could have paid for that thing, and it came with all the fixins. Let's see, hold on, Don't Go Alone. The Alchemy horror PC game and the original Alone in the Dark. Oh yeah, Alone in the Dark was great. Liv says, so for other folks who played Mega Man DOS, can you all still hear the sounds of those bees on the first level? I can. Absolutely. Come on now. Can you not? Like, mine was coming from PC speaker too, so like it's the PC speaker is just something with something. I loved when a game utilized PC speaker as a kid because it couldn't control the volume, and it always sounded incredibly loud, so I always felt like I was just doing something I was not supposed to do. Wait, what happened? What did I do? I gotta hold the operator. It's the loading. They're loading the other level. Heaven and Earth, the 4 minigames, especially the Hanafude style card game. I have not played Heaven and Earth.
Of Nosgoth,
but I'm told
pristine, whole,
told I must,
and uncorrupted. I had never beheld them in this undefiled state, yet something profound and indelible resonated within me at the sight. And there, waiting at the very heart of the pillars, was the canker that was destined to destroy them.
I know you're there, Raziel.
Mobius led me to you, Kain, though I might have guessed you'd meet me here.
And if Mobius told you I was hidden on the underside of hell, would you throw yourself into oblivion to pursue me? Mobius trawls for the ignorant and unwary, hauling his gasping prey from the streams of their destinies. Stay out of his net, Raziel.
Spare me your elaborate metaphors, Kain. I have pursued you here for one purpose. You will pay for your betrayal, and balance will thus be restored to Nosgoth.
And whose will is satisfied then? The will of Raziel or Mobius?
Would I be better manipulated by you, Kain? Now, turn and face me. The chase is over.
This isn't a chase, Raziel. We are merely passengers on the wheel of destiny, describing a perfect circle to this point. We've been brought here for a reason. I've seen the beginning and the end of our story, however, and the tale is crude and ill-conceived. We must rewrite the ending of it. You and I.
Face me, Kain. Even you shouldn't die a coward's death.
Isn't it customary to grant the condemned a final request?
Oh my god, as if you haven't talked
Recall no
enough.
such courtesy from you.
Indulge me, Raziel. All I ask is that you listen. This is the sublime moment of our undoing, Raziel. The ineffable fulcrum upon which swings the entirety of our history. This is where all of Nosgoth is betrayed. In this instant, Ariel, the Balance Guardian, is murdered by dark forces bent on overthrowing the Pillars. Her spirit is just now tearing free, lost in the ether, trying to find its way here. You have already seen how she comes to haunt these Pillars.
Bound here
Oh,
by
so we're
your
way in the past.
refusal to die. You are the reason this land becomes diseased. As long as you remain alive, you condemn Nosgoth to an eternity of decay.
Be still, Raziel. See this. As Ariel dies, I am being born to take her place as Balance Guardian. Such is my destiny.
My God.
The time of his birth, to be exact, exactly. Bam!
At the moment of my first cry, Ariel's beloved, the Guardian Nupraptor, finds her corpse. Racked with grief and tormented by suspicions of treachery, Nupraptor plunges into a madness which overflows and infects all of the Guardians who are symbiotically bound, including me. The repercussions of Ariel's assassination were expertly calculated. The entire circle descends into madness, and I am tainted at the moment of my birth, instantly rendered incapable of fulfilling the role destiny has prepared for me.
Shall I show you the same mercy you showed the rest of the circle then? You blithely murdered them to restore their pillars, yet your hand faltered when it came to the final sacrifice. What makes you exempt, Kain? You're merely the last man standing. Why condemn me for simply carrying out what you hadn't the courage to do yourself?
Let's drop the moral posturing, shall we? We both know there's no altruism in this pursuit. Your reckless indignation led you here. I counted on it. There's no shame in it, Raziel. Revenge is motivation enough. At least it's honest. Hate me, but do it honestly. 30 years hence, I am presented with a dilemma. Let's call it a two-sided coin. If the coin falls one way, I sacrifice myself and thus restore the pillars. But as the last surviving vampire in Nosgoth, this would mean the annihilation of our species. Mobius made sure of that. If the coin lands on the reverse, I refuse the sacrifice and thus doom the pillars to an eternity of collapse. Either way, the game is rigged.
We agree then that the pillars are crucial and must be restored.
Yes, Raziel. And that's why we've come full circle to this place.
That's why we gotta go back.
After all this,
Back
you
to the
make
future.
my case for me.
My
To
body.
end this stalemate, you must die so that new Guardians can be born.
Pillars don't belong to them, Raziel. They belong to us.
Your arrogance is boundless, Kain.
There's a third option. A monumental secret hidden in your very presence here. But it's a secret you have to discover for yourself. Unearth your destiny, Raziel. It's all laid out for you here.
You said it yourself, Kain. There are only two sides to your coin.
Apparently so. But suppose you throw a coin enough times. Suppose one day it lands on its edge.
Ukun hopped, by the way. Welcome. Good to have you. You say that Heaven and Earth did some interesting stuff, like using the rules of one type of puzzle to model a different type of puzzle. Like how so? Can you give me an example? And I love, so I really want to look into this, right? There's a game that is reviled by so many people. It's a game called Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. So everyone said it's a terrible game that's so confusing and weird. And then like I saw somebody give me a synopsis and I don't know how much to trust this. I have to play this at some point in time. Bear with me. There's a connection here. And that like part of the game is building the mini games, like that players can add or subtract like features to certain mini games that make them more complex or less. Like I don't know how this entirely works. I don't even know if that's even exactly how that works. I'm very curious if that is the case. But that's how someone explained that to me, and I was just like, that actually sounds really cool. And they're just like, yeah, it's a weird game, but like it's not that bad. And I was like, oh, I have to see. Anyway, sorry. Bedwell Buckerman says, I love the depths of fate versus free will that is just so deep in this game. I always love this stuff too, right? Like the Matrix movies, right? They have the same kind of concept, and that's just a very common kind of theme in all media around this time, right? About this idea of free will versus destiny. And that's one of those things that like drove me crazy when people were watching the Matrix movies, because like I enjoyed the second and third movie. They have their flaws. They aren't great, but they're not the end of the world. And one of the things that I always loved about it was just like it's really simple. Its story and concept was very simple. It was literally just saying like, hey, first movie's like, hey, the humans are saying you're destined for this thing. This is what you're supposed to be doing. And then the second movie is the machines going, hey, you're destined for this thing. This is what you're supposed to be doing. And then the third movie is him just being like, I'm going to do what I want to do and not any of the things that you guys tell me that I have to do, you know? And I'm like, that is the overall just theme of that movie. And it's wild that people like scratch their heads being like, that didn't make it look a sense. It's kind of straightforward, actually, when you really like break it down.
I didn't know what impulse stayed my hand. Why I had so willingly allowed Kain to escape me when I had pursued him for so long. I had no reason to trust Kain after he had valued me so little. And yet, I found myself intrigued by his words. I had been too cruelly used to so gullibly play his pawn. But if this world truly had secrets to divulge, I was determined to expose them.
What can that symbol mean? Ooh, fancy. We'll eventually get that ability to climb, it looks like. Come here, little skull dude. Come on. Come on. But I can already kind of see where this plot is going. It's interesting. Like, they're very much like, hey, we're going to do some time traveling to kind of stop all of this from happening. It's what I'm thinking is going to happen. You're going to kind of see what it is that you... You're going to try to prevent all of that stuff from happening in the first place. Come on. I love eating those dudes. Feels great. Finally getting into some of like the other world fights. So then what's back here? Now that that's changed, like... Sorry, my curiosity. My curiosity has me. Does it change that much? Or is it just that passageway? I feel like there's always secrets. I'm always one of those ones. This is a game where there's lots of secrets, and it kind of rewards you for exploring. When I was a kid playing the first game, I barely got anywhere in terms of like the plot, but like I went to go like see the human town, and like my brain was exploded that I saw that place, and everything felt so like foreign to me, or like like Like, I discovered something truly clandestine. Like, you weren't supposed to see this part of the game. You weren't supposed to be here. And that's always kind of
From the
felt
moment of
so
my
cool.
arrival, I had the constant and palpable sensation of being watched. Someone, it seemed, was keenly interested in my presence here.
Okay. All the crows, of course.
From the look of it,
What would that
this
mean?
door had been
Disappear.
sealed for centuries. I began to realize it was no mere coincidence that I found myself standing here, beneath this winged figure with blue skin and cloven hands so like my own,
What would that be?
and bearing this unique key. And so it was with a sense of gravity and trepidation that I unsealed that ancient door and crossed the threshold.
Again, voice acting sells this game so hard. And the dialogue, it's very dramatic. It's very it's very flowery. And one of those things that I always love is when games just have a lot of flavor text to them. They're just playing around. And like, this has a lot of flavor text to it. Also, I need to go and okay, I see. Oops. Right? No? What is the nature of those dudes? Thought that they were like, oh, you gotta fight them in the spirit realm, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Oh no, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sorry. Come on, dude. Dude, I don't want to go in your mouth. Please don't suck me down. So now I'm curious. I can't. Oh, I can't. I can fight the this. Okay. Oh, we gotta slow it down. What does it do when you do that? I can find out, I guess. Can I hit him with this stuff though? I can. I don't need the soul rebrow. When they go into the bond, they learn these things. Interesting. Oh! Hold on. No, nothing's happening. We're just chilling. I wonder what we'll get. Will we get any quote gems from this dialogue of this game? I hope so. I hope they make a new one of the series. It's sad that Rena Auberjonois, I hope I said that right, who played Odo on Deep Space Nine, would not be able to reprise his role as Janos Aldrin. Yeah, Janos. Oh, dude, you threw down. What a perfect timing too. You threw down Vampire the Masquerade Redemption, which had so many great quotes. My Lord Pink, thou art honorable. I accept thy kindly offer. Yeah, like, oh jeez. Oh, here we go. Hi, dude. Okay. That's interesting. We're learning. So it's cool that the Soul Reaver now is like, hey, it's a really powerful weapon you can pull out any time, but like, don't use it constantly, and you don't get any health regeneration for doing it. So like, you get extra attack damage without getting the healing benefits of it. Which is interesting. Did you ever see Bedwell Blackburn?
As I entered the chamber, I sensed that it had been sealed for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years. And while this room was clearly built when the pillars were erected, I knew that no human hand could have shaped this place, and that perhaps it had never been seen by human eyes. The surrounding murals depicted a winged race, their features so like my own, but beautiful, where mine were
Greetings, traveler.
and angelic,
Thank you
while
for the follow.
mine were demonic. I tried to decipher these images. A great war, but with combatants like none I had ever seen. The pillars, raised by this winged race, who thus defeated their adversaries. The winged beings again, writhing in agony, apparently afflicted with the same bloodthirst I had so recently suffered. And throughout the chamber, inscribed everywhere, images of the Reaver itself. Was this what Kain had urged me to discover? I wondered.
Lies, Raziel.
Oh shit. That's our boy. I remember this. I remember watching my brother play
Do
this.
not be
part.
deceived.
Ah, my ancient benefactor. And I dared to hope we had parted ways forever. Silence was refreshing, but it lasted. No doubt you have a conveniently inexpressible reason for your presence here.
Do not be insolent, Raziel. I am eternally present here and everywhere, now and always. I am the still center of the turning wheel, the hub of this world's destiny.
And I promise I'm not Cthulhu.
But perhaps not so omnipotent as you'd have me believe. Your hold on me appears to be tenuous. I no longer seem to need you. Yet I'm guessing you still need me.
This impudence is unworthy of you, Raziel. Do not forget that you have a task to fulfill here. You are indebted to me.
Indebted? You would have me show gratitude for a gift I didn't ask to be bestowed. Do you forget that you forced me to inhabit this vile carcass?
I restored you to yourself, Raziel. It was Kain who destroyed you. The very enemy you've just let slip through your grasp. Do not fail me, my servant.
I serve no one. Not you, not Kain, and not your lackey Mobius.
Mobius is my good servant. I have many.
And if I tell Mobius that he's worshipping a giant squid, do you think his faith will falter?
You have grown willful, Raziel. But beware. To embrace a serpent is to invite poison into your heart. Kain is a sinuous beast. He will seduce and deceive you. You pride yourself on your free will, yet you let that degenerate deter your resolve.
I harbor no illusions about his integrity, nor anyone else's. In fact, I am beset by manipulation on all sides. I merely seek the truth.
These are the fathomless truths, Raziel. The agony of birth and death and rebirth. This is the wheel of fate, the purifying cycle which sustains all life. Vampires are an abomination, a plague which leeches this land of its spiritual
come on now.
strength. They obstruct the flow of life and death. Their souls stagnate in their wretched corpses. But the wheel must turn. Death is inexorable and cannot be denied. Your destiny is irresistible, Raziel. You are my Soul Reaver, the scourge of the vampires, reaper of their apostate souls. Remain steadfast, end the vampire's parasitic curse, and restore Nosgoth.
Kain's blood belongs on your hands.
Okay, real talk for a second.
Kain indeed deserves to die for condemning me to this repugnant form. But if and when I kill him, it will be for me alone to decide.
Kain destroyed you without a flicker of remorse. He tore the soul from your noble corpse. And after you had served him faithfully for 1,000 years, he discarded you in the abyss on a jealous whim. Remember your rage, Raziel. Let it guide your hand.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Hi, by the way. Welcome, Everett. It's good to see you. Word unlimited backlog. How are you, my friend? Okay. So, hold on. So, that reveal of what that ominous entity that had saved us and restored us after our destruction in Soul Reaver 1 and using us as a vessel to get vengeance or whatever. I mean, obviously he's the bad guy, right? Like, the pillars are piercing through him. They're sealing him. They're getting worn away and destroyed so that he can be freed. Like, he's a bad guy. And guessing based on just the artwork of Legacy of Kain Defiance, right? Or Soul Reaver Defiance or whatever it's called. Obviously we team up with Kain and stop all the bad guys. Like the Guardian dude, the Time Guardian, bad guy, clearly. This dude, bad guy, clearly. Tentacle eye things are always trustworthy. I know if Gothic is anything to be exemplified as, that's 100% it. So I wonder. Hold on, let's save our spot here. And Kain isn't good either. Yeah, but like, I don't know if he's evil tentacle monster. He's a lesser evil. Yeah, I mean, we'll find out as we go through the series, right? We'll find out as we go through the series. I wanna see our boy. Who's a big tentacle monster pierced by the pillars, huh? You are. Yes, you is. Yes, you is.
Tread carefully, Raziel.
What? Wait, you want me to whack you? What? You don't like me poking you in the eye? Sorry about that. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I'm just poking you in the eye. It's fine. Oh, you are a big guy. Look at you. Boink. Sorry. Just clipping through your eyeball. Yeah, you're absolutely being sealed away by the pillars. Come on now. This is the sort of story that has good guys. Yeah, it has less bad guys. Spoke to the right. Whoops, sorry, my bad. I just, whoops, just taking a look, see? No. What are you doing? CL, come on, dude. There we go. Oh, shit. I think it's better to use this. We can't take their souls anyways. Jukes. Okay. Yeah, I can't suck up anything from this place. Bad guys versus worse guys. Is that water or miscellaneous liquid? I mean, it's sweet amniotic fluid within which the ancient beings were birthed from. Obviously. Sweet amniotic fluid. Oh god. Can I please not die? Okay, so let's see what's down here. Oh no, is that just where we came up from? Where is this? Oh. Right here. Not the same place, right? What the heck? It's Octoswas. Sweet. Ew. Hey now. Oh man, you think we'll be draining this? I'm the kind of guy who, you know, yeah, this water will event. This sweet amniotic fluid is going to be drained at some point. That's for sure. I mean, when we were playing Gothic, we had to be wary about crawlers coming out of our shaft. So, you know, that's we're not strangers to the absurd and unusual right now. Have you ever had that situation happen to you where crawlers come out of your shaft? It's not a pleasant sight, that's for sure. I can guarantee you that, at least. It's not a pleasant sight. Not out of my shaft, no. The crawlers haven't come out of your shaft. I mean, have you ever lived? That's the thing that happens. Like, crawlers come out of people's shafts. Yeah, we can, okay. I'm curious, like, is this like a prelude of like, hey, this is a dungeon you're gonna be going through here. So let's show it off a little bit, so you can see some of it. What game starts you in the water temple? What madman is like, you know what? Let's start you in the water temple. Oops, no, I ducked.
I surfaced into a very different landscape. The daylight barely penetrated the dense canopy of this forest. Here I discovered an ancient ruin, unmistakably one of Mobius's time-streaming chambers, but long ago sealed and abandoned to the encroaching swamp. I didn't currently possess the means to break this seal, but I thought in time that I might.
This is interesting too because, like, well, also, sorry, oh my gosh, oh, jeez, so at least you don't need to breathe. I'm glad, Muggenhop, that is like a thing that they fixed, because like not being able to go in water sucked. What's also interesting is that, like, I know where we are.
Here it comes.
What's that? Hello? Oh, jeez, hello. Sorry. No, I don't want the Soul Reaver. No, oh god, I'm gonna die. Let me get some of that juice, those sweet juices. We've been to this place in Blood Omen. We've been to these swamps. I remember these swamps well. They were a pain in the ass. And like these chambers for the Time Guardian, like we went through a bunch of chambers that were like you going to extra dimensional planes, and I'm guessing that that's kind of that parallel there, although functioning very differently, of course. But like, yeah, I remember this though, man.
Taste my blade!
That liquid won't leave a foul taste in your mouth, since, you know, you don't have a mouth, but still can speak without sounding ridiculous. I mean, the scarf must be doing the talking. Absolutely. Yeah, so we can't get in there yet. There's a lot going on there. It's his eyes that do the talking. Come on, his eyes do the talking. They're fuming endlessly with rage and revenge. Slow-mo door kick. Oh, hey, first vampire dude, yeah.
So, my lurking observer was exposed. The creature vanished when he realized he was discovered, but I caught a glimpse of him, and his features were distinctive enough. This was the vampire Vorador, the monstrous assassin depicted in the Stronghold. Strange that a creature brazen enough to assault the Circle single-handedly would avoid confronting me. Very well. If Vorador would not come to me, I would go to him. But first, I needed to find some means of reaching that terrace.
Lib says, maybe he's just talking out of his ass. Just saying. I mean, with his verbosity, his excessive verbosity that even rivals my own, that is a little likely. That's a little likely. Yeah, you might be onto something there. Oh, God. Sorry, dude. Oh! I have been known on an occasion or 2 or 3 or 20 or 1,000 to talk out of my ass. That's what I do 90% of the time. Hello. Hello, madam. Can I get the camera? Call you, please. Oh, come on. Raziel. Right there, man. So I like this. I like this retreading of these areas that we've been to before historically in this game if you've played through the entire series. You are a wind talker of a different type. What is that? What does that mean? Just a blowhard? Just full of hot air? Is that it? I am that too. I won't, I will not. I will not mince words there. I don't know what I'm talking about 90%. I know what I like. And I know, like, how that works in the world. Like, what do I like to see? I'm very opinionated about what it is that I would like. His enthusiasm just poured out of every orifice, that's all. More people need that. It's true. I mean, it's not true. Oh my god. Raziel, buddy. Come on, you can get up there. There we go. But no, like, games, and you hear me talk about this endlessly. Crash, like, unlimited backlog, aka might be a wizard, aka endlessly, like, it just stems from setting aside the hubris. I talk a lot. I like to talk, right? But, like, I also am not saying that, like, oh, my perspective is law, or that, like, I am always right, or that sort of thing. And when it comes to, like, how I present my perspective, it's far more like, I'm not saying I'm doing it right. I'm saying that the right way to do things is by coming in with an open mind. Like, the right way to do things is to not have a right way. And that drives some people crazy. That drives some people really crazy. You love more than you talk. Take that as you will, but I love it. Well, thank you, my friend. Thank you. You know, so many people talk about the objectivity in games, and so many people have heard me ramble on endlessly about games being subjective up the wazoo. Because even if there is the one right way to make a certain type of game, people still experience it differently. And so you can't make something that is just objectively great for all people, because everybody's going through different things. I appreciate that you're willing to give benefit of the doubt far past what most people do. It's true. It's true. I have patience. And maybe that's something that has come with just being a dad. That, like, I am very patient with games. I know they're trying to get a message across. They're trying to tell me something, and I'm trying to understand what that is. And then, once I do understand what that is...
There appeared to be a passage here, leading northward into the mountains. The opening, however, was obstructed, and too high for me to reach. Perhaps later I would find the means to bypass these obstacles.
But like once I've understood like what that message is, how they're trying to convey those things, what is it they're trying to tell you to do, how to play the game, what they're trying to like express to you, then is it effective? But not is it effective in some grand scheme. It's is it effective to me and to how I play games? And being self-aware of like what it is that I value, what it is that I care about in games, what is it that I want to see in games, and how I play games. And then approaching it from there. Because so many people really do believe that, like, that their perception of this stuff is some kind of like rigid and immovable thing, that it is set in stone, that it is law, it is creed, and like, how many times have people played a game that just wasn't for them, and then it just was? Like, that is proof on the subjectivity of how we experience games and how things work. How many times have we had a game that we loved, and then as we play it again and revisit it, it doesn't work for us? You know, and the messages change. Even when we talk about games with story, even the story can alter and change based on our life and experiences. I always put out the great example of when I played, I'm cutting my back the way I came in, right? When I played Mother 2, Earthbound. I played it for the first time at the birth of my first kid. My daughter was born, and I was playing it on the Wii U Virtual Console. You know, kind of separated, and you know, as I'm like helping her get to sleep and stuff like this, and it was absolutely humongous for me because I was coming at it from the perspective of like the parent side of things, not coming at it from the side of like, oh, kids going on an adventure. It was from a parent, seeing these kids grow up and experiencing life. Ad break is about to start, just so you guys know, and I apologize again, but it's just I need to take breaks because I don't do it. And it very much changed how I view games and how I value games, and that was pretty big. That was a pretty big thing for me. And for a lot of folks, when they played Earthbound, they played it when they were kids, so it was like about going on an adventure and being a kid and being on your own finally, and you know, that was the main message for them, and to experience it from that other side was wild. Oh, that man is... Are you okay, sir? Excuse me, sir, are you okay? Oh, you were totally okay. Oh, shoot. Don't hit me, sir. There. Alright, yeah, it's gonna hit. Be ready. They're just about to break. To get to go and get more water. And Crash is saying, I'm hoping that Shadowrun for Genesis turns into that game for me, but at this point I still believe it's for people who eat paint chips and guzzle melted crayons. That's me! How'd you know? And it may not be a stream game. That might be the thing for you, Crash. It just might not be a stream game. It's one that you gotta really, like, take it slow, take your time. Oh, can I grab this? I cannot grab the man's cannon. Okay. Shadowrun on the Genesis is awesome, but it is a slow game. It's a slow burn. It's, again, that walking that fine line between fun and fulfilling. And I think that's...
My lurking friend was nowhere to be seen, but I found these ruins even more intriguing. I recognized these arcane symbols from the chamber beneath the pillars, and realized that this shrine, too, was sealed to all but the bearer of the Reaver.
Question for you, Unlimited Backlog, if you don't mind me asking. She said that today's an interesting day, though. My doctor's getting me time off work, and I'm trying out some meds. Because work has crushed my soul, and my ADHD is out of control. Have you been treating your ADHD? When did you get diagnosed with it? And if you don't mind me saying, like, how old are you? How old are you? If you want to ask the question of a question. I'm an ADHD sufferer myself, an adult that was diagnosed just a couple years ago. I'm 40 now, and you're 44. And you've been diagnosed for a long time? You do look younger. It's true, Crash. I never would have pinned you for 44. No wonder you pat me on the head and be like, oh, sweet summer child, 4 years my younger. But have you been diagnosed before or no? 43 this June. Yes. Let's go. Old folks represent. Because as age happens, ADHD gets worse, a lot worse. I always had it, but never diagnosed, and it became like crippling when I was getting to this age. Oh, hello. Can we be friends? Oh, no, we cannot. Ads. Shit. Pause. All right, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go get a drink of water and stretch. Bear with me. Hold on. I'm gonna hit this and then go like this. How's it like that? So you get the cool music. All right, I'll be right back. Realize I have the old schedule on that slideshow for last week. Yes, thank you, Crash, for the fine compliment for my MS Paint artwork. That is absolutely atrociously delightful. This is the beginning of my diagnosis, although I think my doctors always knew. I was just super high functioning and had those wonderful Gen X coping skills. I'm at the point where I want help with it. Yeah, and with age, it gets harder and harder. You know, you build those coping skills, right? Because no one's going to treat it for you. Thank you, Mojito. Being a kid who had it, like genuinely had it. This isn't like you're just excitable. No, something I always struggled with as a kid. And my parents always said, oh, he's just a happy, super excitable kid, and like every person asked my parents because I was out of control. Guess what? Like my daughter, my oldest, same boat. And it was, but for her, she didn't have any of those coping skills. And you could see her being like tortured by this and like struggling. And we had to do something about that. And when I had finally got my diagnosis, it helped a bunch in that. So mental health talk here for a second, and I apologize for anyone who has issues. So I want to first say, as I said a million things before that, but my friend, that like, that's a big deal to say, like, I need help with that. And to say that you need help is big, and that's huge. And I'm very glad that you like took that step, because that's the hardest step. And whatever the case may be, because know that, like, hey, if a medication doesn't work, that doesn't mean you don't have the thing. It means that medication doesn't work for you. And like we found through like genetic testing that like a lot of medications, antidepressants, stimulants, they all react to everybody very differently. And so it's wild to see that stuff. I used to work at a psychiatric office, and one of my greatest examples is there was a guy who he suffered from like schizophrenia, and nothing worked for him, and everything was he was really genuinely unhinged, and our interactions with him were incredibly difficult. He was really suffering from something bad. He did genetic testing and found that he had extreme negative reactions to all medications except for one, which he'd never tried. And he took it, and the next time I saw that dude, it was a night and day difference. And he was like in tears, being like, I am an actual functioning human being, and never in my life have I ever had this experience before, and this is amazing. And I was like, holy crap. It definitely changed my view on mental illness and mental health. And it was so great. Sorry. You'll say that, and I've always had the mentality of I should be able to deal with this. I can handle anything, and I've handled everything. Probably could have made things easier for myself sooner. 100%. Oh god. Hi, lady. Oh, it's like oh, what the hell? That was pretty amazing. Excuse me? Yeah. Having two kids. Stuff. Starting with Wellbutrin. Oh yeah, that's easy. So I get to add that to my blood pressure and diabetes cocktails. Wellbutrin is nice and easy. That's typically a very easy go-to, like SSRI, so you should be okay. That, like, there's not a lot of like super bad reactions to that, but there could be. You never know. All right, so we gotta go into Spirit Land. I need clock on right now. Whoa! To the fund, indeed. And sorry, I don't advertise this stuff very much, and you can see on the top there's a graphics card fund. Look, I'm a full-time stay-at-home dad. My wife works very tirelessly, and because of a lot of life situations with our kids, it's required me to have to stay home and take care of them. We don't have any money. My computer is starting to age dramatically, and it's one of those things where I'll show you here. Okay. It's one of those things where like we can't afford to fix it, and I would never assume or make any gross assumptions that people like I deserve that and that people need to give me that through here. But just know that any bits that go in here goes towards that fund. That huge astronomical number there, that's a pie in the sky goal. That's more than just a graphics card for me. That would probably be an upgrade to like a microphone, maybe a green screen, or a sound mixer for me. So like PC equals potato crop. Yeah, that's right. But so just like know that like I'm not sitting here trying to beg for money. That's a long-term goal. That's a big one that is just going into a savings thing for me so that I can get that at some point in time. I don't like to shill. I hate it. But we have goals for those things. So if we hit $100, it's a full playthrough of VNC Virtual Nightclub. Most of you who do not know what that is, and I don't blame you one bit. VNC Virtual Nightclub is a FMV adventure game that was originally developed for the CDI, got canceled when the CDI shut down, and then they moved on to make it for PC. But what makes it so great is it is really cheesy, really bad as a game, but also has these weird mixture documentary elements to it that amazingly encapsulate counterculture in the mid 1990s. Not just like hackers and like, cyberpunk kind of things, but also just like LGBTQIA plus community and how technology plays a role for them and all this crazy stuff. And they talk with a bunch of like musicians and rappers and all this crazy stuff. It's really cool. And then if we hit 200, it's another point and click with puppets, which on Wednesday we continue point and click with puppets. We're finishing King's Quest 2 with our boy King Saltine. Yes, I have a puppet. I know it's my kids, but like I just think it's funny to play a point and click adventure game, but with a puppet. We'll do King's Quest 3 at 200. At 300, it's a full playthrough of Journey to Heaven. Again, no one has ever heard of this. I am flailing wildly at the camera, but you can clearly see that you cannot see me. Journey to Heaven is another, it's a Myst-style adventure game from the mid to late 2000s. It's a Christian game. It is a very religious game, but it is also a very horny game. Thank you for the bits. That's very kind of you too. That's okay. No pressure. That's very appreciated. But Journey to Heaven, there's no full playthrough online. There's no guide on the internet. There's nothing about this game. You can see little snippets of footage on YouTube, maybe. Like, there's like 2 or 3 videos that are about a minute long. I've got the game. Oh boy. Full playthrough of that thing. It's insane. You're an astronaut who dies on a space mission. You get destroyed in the asteroid belt. You end up in, essentially purgatory, where your super hot, sexy grandma helps you get through heaven, and I believe brings about the end times. Not entirely sure, but they do sound the trumpets. I know this. Like, they sound the trumpets. And then we have at $400 a full playthrough of Seaman. The entire, Dreamcast Seaman. Not like 24 hours, because it doesn't work. We tried. We'll go and get like credits on Seaman, and yes, you can get credits on Seaman. And at $500, it's a Street Fighter 6 CPU versus CPU tournament. For those who've never come or are new to the channel, we love CPU versus CPU tournaments. We are gamers. What I mean by that is we love games of any type. Competition in some of the strangest ways. I'm currently trying to get a competitive Myst Online scene. Trust me, it's a thing and it's working. And I totally misspelled fighter in that thing. And CPU versus CPU is a lot of fun. We bet channel points on it, and it's just so much fun. It's a round robin tournament typically. Street Fighter 6, it'll be great. And then at $750, it's a Super Baseball Simulator 1000 custom season. Custom teams, custom players. It's an SNES baseball game with anime powers. It's fantastic, and I love it to death. And then if we ever hit that insane pie-in-the-sky goal, it is a listen party of the embarrassing 15-year-old podcast, the Bogus Meat Factory podcast. I was like 25. I was trying to be funny. It is horrible. There are like 15 episodes of that podcast, and it's bad. It's bad. I wouldn't wish it upon anybody. And if you want to talk about humiliation, there is the ultimate. Like, I don't I don't do the bits. I'm not a guy. I'm not a flashy streamer. I've been streaming now for almost 10 years. Or for more than 10 years now. Wow, it's not almost. It's more than. The spiel has changed. We hit our 10-year mark earlier. At the end of February. And, like, I don't do the, like, hey, everybody, let's go! Like, press the fart button. I don't do that. That's not my thing. I'm, like, a genuine person. I like to be me. And, like, entertain through discussion. And entertain through just fucking loving video games. And so, yeah, it's wild. I mean, I could use a fart. I could. I've hung around the retro speedrunning community for 7 to 8 years, streamed myself the last 4. I'm the same way. Absolutely. And that's a hard time, man. Streaming video games when you're, like, not a big showboaty, you know, LED lights everywhere and, like, that sort of thing. And there's nothing wrong with that, I want to stress. But, like, that's not my bag. I like being me, you know? I like being very, very honest and sincere. And that's also part of the ADHD talking, you know? But, like, it's just how I am. I overshare. I'm very, like, wear my heart on my sleeve. Unlimited Backlog knows. I can't tell you, like, how many times we've had heated debates. Not just with Crash, sorry, slash Unlimited Backlog, but, like, even Hash and I, we have had heated debates. But always I want to, like, stress that, like, I very much respect people. But, like, I also have a very, like, very strong opinions on certain things. Like, on games and what they should be. I like having a good production, but I'm also about self-sabotage. I don't know if I'd want more than 20 people to chat in my stream. Look, my dreams and aspirations, the only way I'd ever want more people in my stream was just simply to be like, hey, let's all go into these old, dead online games and enjoy the hell out of them. Lip says, I have very strong opinions on games. I'm just here to hang out. And hey, Lip, you know I love that about you. You know I love that about you. And we need a special thing. But, like, I think the crux of my strong opinions on games really just centers around the idea that, like, hey, that games are very subjective, and that's like a hill that I will always die on. Always. I'm never going to like, be swayed on that one. Alright, let's see if I can cheese this. Oh, curse you, okay. Hold on, can I get up there the other way? I just want to cheese. You know me, I like my cheese. I have strong opinions, but hold them loosely. I like to hear most sides when it comes to perspective. And that is why I also very much appreciate you as well. Like, I do not... My biggest pet peeve is definitely, like, rigidity. And so many people will hold their beliefs as some kind of, like, as canon, you know, as, like, this immutable truth. And it's not, man. We all experience things very differently. And that, in part, is what makes it so special and interesting. That's why I love talking to folks. That's why I love listening to folks. It's because that perspective helps me better understand games and better appreciate games as well. I am missing something here in this level, that is for sure. Okay, what are we missing here? This is not the way to do things. Unless it is, and then I'd be shocked. No. Let's see. Come on, climb up. Okay, this is not the way. This is not how we were meant to do this. I'm most frequently on the fence in most things, looking all around. Then again, I think it's partially because I used to do customer service and tech support over the phone for so many years. Oh man, yeah, tell me about it. Look, customer service customer service, it's not necessarily that you're on the fence on most things. It's just that customer service very much is a humbling thing. Oh, here we go. Is this what we're supposed to? No, that's supposed to climb on that. It's a humbling thing being in customer service, because I worked customer service most of my life, and it like you care. I know the whole positive lilt in your voice gig very well. I just can't do it anymore. Yeah, absolutely. Like, there's the thing is that, like, you suffer no fools when you are in retail. When you have worked customer service, when you work retail in your life, you suffer no fools. But you also are incredibly grateful for the opposite, you know? For those who are serving and those who are genuinely serving. Like, okay, so, I mean, it's got the Soul Reaver symbol on it, but, like, there's nothing here to tell me that that's what I need. Kid's coming in with a party at 9. Welcome, Kid369. Nice. Hello, how are you today? What were you playing today? Shout out to Kid. What were you playing tonight? It's a absolute pleasure to have you. Chasm. What is chasm? Tell me of this chasm. Okay, let's see. Oh, is this gonna morph when I go here? Oh, I think I see what's gonna happen. I wish I had a better view of this. That grows larger. Okay. Okay, I think I figured something out. I think I got it. Chasm's great. Side-scrolling dungeon crawler. Ooh, baby. That's okay. I live by the caps lock, so, like, it's okay. Accidental or intentional or not, I still live by it. Oh, great. This thing is killing me. Where can I get some skulls? Oh, here we go. Really? First game you streamed on Twitch. Mine was Chrono Trigger. Sadly, on the time when I was meant to, like, celebrate my 10 years, I got, like, really sick, like, horribly. Horrible, like, stomach flu was the worst. Okay, so I think I understand what I gotta do now. Getting was rough, but now I'm locked in. Well, sorry, shout out to Kid. Sorry, I am not doing my job properly. Sorry. Shout out to Kid. Hi. Welcome, everybody. Give a follow to Kid. That's really nice of you to bring your community in here. You know I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, fantastic. Chasm sounds great. For those who don't know who I am, who's coming in here, I'm Bogus Meat Factory. Hi. I'm a variety streamer. I play a little bit of everything. From all genres, generations, platforms, everything. I love games to death. And we are playing right now Soul Reaver, Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 2. Trying to figure this out. Let me see what else changes. So that guy gets way bigger. And so I'm guessing, let's take a look out here. Oh yeah, I see it. I see it. Oh, we can only do that in the physical realm. Okay. Okay, that's definitely the... You can lock on. No, we're not locking on. No, never. I've been playing video games now for over 35 years. I've been streaming now for over 10. We marked our 10-year anniversary at the end of February. And yeah, it's a pleasure to have you all. What other stuff do you like to play, Kid, by the way? What are some of your games? What are some of your, like, what's your like, what are some of your favorite games that you streamed recently? What are some big ones? I'd love to hear these things. Oh, hi guys. Don't mind me. Just gonna go up here. See ya. Ooh, here we go. Exposition.
Throughout this ancient shrine, murals depicted the winged race and the apocalyptic war against their mysterious and equally inhuman adversaries. These winged beings, it seemed, were not only the architects of the pillars, but of this enigmatic place as well. And just as in the Pillar's chamber, this shrine was adorned throughout with imagery of the Reaver, depicted with the reverence of a holy icon.
Wow, so your favorite game of all time is Alice Madness Returns. I don't hear that one on the list very often. That tells you something right there. That tells you that it's probably really good. Like, I know when a lot of people are like, oh, my favorite game is, you know, the classics. And someone's just like, no, I'm going to hit you with one that is not a classic. And I'm like, ooh. I am now listening. Hello. All right, let's go. Let's try this. That is awesome. And Oblivion's a lot of fun, too. Oh, like, look. I'm a giant Elder Scrolls fan. Like, a crazy Elder Scrolls fanatic. I think that the series peaked at at Morrowind. But I do think that, setting aside, because, like, my main issue with Oblivion is just kind of its setting. Like, Cyrodiil and, or the Imperial, you know, province, it was kind of, like, presented blandly. It's had really great stories in it, and I enjoyed that improvement to its combat. But Oblivion is a ton of fun. I just wish, for me, with Oblivion, was that they gated some content. Because, like, you could be a jack of all trades and do everything in the game with one character, and I don't like that. But that's me. That's a quirk of mine, not a fault of the game. Skyrim, on the other hand, though. Whee! Yeah. I find that, like, that Skyrim and Oblivion are fun, but they aren't, like we've talked before about this, the difference between fun and fulfilling, right? Oh, how do I drop this thing? Block? No, how do I drop this item? Crap, how do I drop the item? Okay, let's target. There, okay, hold on, here we go. There we go. Let's open this door. Lately been hooked on Dragon's Dogma 2. Dude, real talk. I love Dragon's Dogma 2 has been a point of great contention for a lot of people right now. A lot of folks love it, a lot of folks hate it. And I'm curious what your opinion is on that, because that's one that I am personally excited to play, but I do not have the capabilities currently to do so. And have I heard of Gekiso Sentai Karanger? Well, obviously it's a Super Sentai game, but I have not heard of this. I'm going to hit you with one that's really great. It's a Japanese game. It's based on an anime franchise that has come to the United States and is beloved. And I've never played the Yu Yu Hakusho SNES games. Not the 2D fighting game, but the 2D strategy rock, paper, scissors fighting game. I think people like to get super upset about things. The game is fantastic. So, Badwell Blackburn, there is 2 Yu Yu Hakusho games that are in Japan for the SNES that are kind of like a split screen, close up of the characters. You fill up a bar, and you have an energy bar, right? You fill up this other bar that's like your kind of your cooldown timer essentially, and then you pick from one of 4 different buttons, which are like categories of moves, and within that you have moves within those categories to perform things, and they all use different types of there's defensive moves and offensive moves and special moves and like super moves and that sort of thing, and they all take up different types of energy, and essentially having to face off against each other in that way, and it goes into that cinematic kind of presentation of all the moves. It's really cool. I came across that when I was a kid, never knowing what Yu Yu Hakusho was, and it was really cool. And I was able to get through it without knowing anything other than Japanese, so that was helpful too. Okay, so we gotta get the disc. Oh, really? If you can tell me what that is, unlimited backlog, that would be cool. Because I had never seen another game play like that before, and so I was very like, oh, I gotta rotate. All right. I see what you're doing, game. I see what you're doing. All right. Sakura, how are you? Hokuto no Ken game. Oh. Really? Okay, I'm gonna have to be looking into this. Tokubetsu-hen? It may be, because I only knew it by its Japanese title, and that was a bunch of symbols. So, like, I do not know what it was actually called. Okay. That's not putting us in the same spot, is it? Yeah, we're in a different area. I'm like falling down here. Hi, guys. Good, tired. You just wrapped up with your stream. Oh my gosh, Sakura, how did it go? You were playing the real-time strategy Star Wars game, right? Way back in the day. Was it Empire War? Is that the one? Is that what that one is? And yeah, shout out to Sakura. Oh, you're playing Last Epoch with you were doing that earlier today, the other one, right? You were playing Last Epoch with Havoc, right? Ouch. That's awesome. Yeah, Sakura's fantastic. You need to give them a follow. They've been a moderator and a part of, like, a supporter of this channel for so long. And they started streaming back in December for Dawsember, which was a great event, by the way. Really awesome. And I'll take the hit. I'll take the skull. And they're great. They're the best. Sakura's just the nicest person on the planet. World in conflict. Why did I think Star Wars? Why, when I watched that, did I think Star Wars? What is wrong with me? I swear, Sakura, something is greatly wrong with me some days. What was that happening? Oh, that's just the music. I was like, it's telling me something here with this feedback. Okay, so that's gotta be there. So what's the... Oh no, it's gotta go this way. It's gotta go this way. We gotta change the mirrors. Yeah, no, by all means, look away. Thank you for sharing everything. Yeah, take care of yourself, more importantly than anything. So thank you so much for the raid and everything. It's very, very kind of you. All right, so that's there now. So I can go back the way I came. Can I? That guy's dead. Can I climb up here? No. No. All right. I wonder how I'm gonna get up there. Let's go into spirit mode and see how the world changes. The balls there get a little closer, but that's kind of it. That's not much to go on. Oh, no worries, no worries. Have a wonderful night. Yeah, no, get some rest, and thank you so much. It was dude, Bedwell, it was an absolute pleasure meeting you and talking with you. I very much appreciate it. Like, I love when good conversation and folks kind of like are on the same kind of wavelength, and it's very nice to meet you, and I do hope to see you around again soon too. We play weird games here, so like Wednesday I'm playing with puppets and playing an adventure game, so like it's a weird time. And then Thursday morning I'm playing Animal Crossing again, and then Friday is more Gothic, which is a great game. But can we please? Who are you? Where'd the guy go? Hello? Game? Oh, I see. This way. The next save point, we're definitely gonna have to call it a night. It's so wild that like this is back in the day of like no save points, you know, or no save. You have to save at very specific points. All right, let's see what we got. Got those nozzles. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just looking. That's okay, guys. There we go. I have so much deja vu. I remember this exact place from your playthrough of the other game. Really? No, not the same, but it feels... The feels are there without question. Like, there are some very similar feels here. That's for sure. The game has a lot of the same feels. Okay. Oh, let's go Spirit Realm. Right? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh. Got any skulls? Yeah, give me them skulls. Suck it up. Alright. So we're going to do big jump. We're gonna get across, right? Gonna make it? We're gonna make it, baby. Alright. Let's see how this goes. Oh, hello. Nice to see you again. Ow. Ow. I'm locking on. I promise you I'm locking on to this lady. And he is... Oh, God. Azrael. Please, dude. Where are we moving you? Oh, did I miss some steps? Oh, I totally missed some steps. This is like the final countdown. This is like everything's supposed to be leading into this. And I totally didn't do that. Shoot. I skipped some steps. Alright, let's go. Let's try not to skip more steps, please. But I want to skip steps, man. Trying to suck up more skulls. Back here now, and so we need to go back that other way. There's another route along there that we must have missed. I mean, I know there is. We didn't solve that other problem. Right, unless... Hold on. Let me see something over here real quick. This is going to tell us the... Look at this. Oh, dude. Hello. We got ourselves a little, how do you call it? Solar eclipse here. That's going to... Okay. I'm starting to see. Getting a little fashion in the solar eclipse here. Are we there, buddy? Did anyone get to experience the solar eclipse? Here in Michigan, we had 99.4% coverage. Really good. It was crazy. What an experience. My kids got to have a big event at school and stuff. I get to go see them. Very nice. All right, so that goes this way. I got to figure out how to get over there. Okay, so... Come on now. Okay. How do I get up there? Is the real question. Oh, hi guys. Hi lady. Hold on. There's a way, isn't there? Maybe? I'm kind of saddened at the like removal of like the environmental kills. Those aren't in here, are they? Or am I doing it wrong? Had a pretty underwhelming partial here. Too far west of the main path. Yeah. Ours was huge. It was wild. I hadn't seen anything like that before. Okay, so we need to get up there, and I don't know exactly how. Let's go into our little looky-loo. Okay, there's like a ring of stuff around the edge. Let's see if that's something we can get into. Ow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, run, dude. Run, dude. The kids had a blast too seeing it. They were like all on board. They were, you know, believing in the hype, and I'm happy for that. They had so much fun. Okay, so let me see if I can choose this. Come on. Let's see. Oh, I totally can't choose that. Crap. Alright, so if I'm up there, though, I want to see what alters and changes down here. Because, okay, we need to get to there, and that's not feasible in the spot that we're currently in. Okay. We don't get the quick jump up at this thing anymore either. Alright. Let's see. The walls get closer. I don't see any other major change, though, which isn't looking great for me. There's gotta be something that changes. Like a pillar that pops up. Who knows? But we need to get over there. Hold on. Oops. So yes, there's a ring here. That's the thing. The ring goes around to here. Keeps going. Kind of ends there, though. So how does one get up there? Let's see. Those shrink. So if I'm over here and I do that, whole thing gets, yeah, weird. All right, I don't think that's important in the end. Okay. I wonder if the light that we shine is going to change how that's going to be. Like, we have it shining in that direction, but if we change it, it's going somewhere else. It's just something different. Only 70%? Oh, that's not too bad. That's not too bad in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, there's no way that I can get there from here. I don't see... So let's change this light. It was pointed that was, yeah, it was pointed there. I have no freaking clue. Oh. What is that? Can I see? Will I change? No, I can't. I don't have any abilities, right? Did I miss what I need to get? It's super clear skies. My brother went to Texas to see it. It was overcast there. Oh no! Imagine traveling to go see that and that's what happens. Oh, that must be the worst. I'm so sorry, dude. Hold on. I must have to have another ability that I don't have right now. That's got to be it. Like, there's no other explanation for that one. But the thing kind of looming in the air and all of that, like... Can't move that. currently closed. Yeah, I got no time for that, guys. See ya. Back here. Missing something. Okay. Came from there. We got these two sides here. That's where we came from, right? Oh, shoot. I gotta get... Be missing more. Okay, so it was thin cloud cover at least, or they still able to see things. Yeah, the sun's super bright in that area, so that shouldn't be a problem. All right, yeah, we got this guy here. Like, do we need to turn him somewhere? Let's look around. I'm guessing we need a couple eclipse, or the opposite. Step over here. These were like shimmer. There we go. Whoa. Oh, hello. Oh. Hello. This one's broken? Okay, so this one here. Okay, hold on. We got some stuff going on. There's some stuff going on here. What is this? Okay. So there. Nothing changed there. Whoa, that all crazy spiky. So there's the thing, is that I was missing, you can interact with those pillars, which I was not picking up on at all. And I think that's the key thing here. We can't move these guys. We could move this one. And I think you gotta move it to block out the thing so that the light gets eclipsed. We're learning. That changes some things now. Knowing that we can move those pillars is kind of a big deal. I just want to see one last thing before I move away and go back to that other spot. Again, we're moving back to the spot. I know. No. None of those are interact. That's so weird that this one happens to be. You know? Like, is it interactable here? It is. Oh, but it won't go that way. It won't go. So it can only go in that one spot. Okay, game. That's where you belong. Okay. I'll go with the other spot. Now I'm gonna look and move those pillars. That's gonna help me figure out what to do in that other puzzle. I think. Oh, please. I want to try to at least get to a next save point.
Greetings, Trump.
Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you so much. We'd like to keep the, I've been wanting to make the follow notifications anonymous to the help lurkers, but whoever gave me a follow, thank you so much. It's very, very kind of you. Alright, so we gotta go back here. And I apologize for my poor play. I will apologize endlessly. Just be prepared for that in my life. Hello? Oh, from Decap Jet. Oh, yes! Sith Princess. Hi. Never apologize. Thank you so much. That is fantastic. Of course I know you're from Decaf Jedi's Discord. So nice to have you. Hello. Yeah, we're playing Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 2. And the Deviant's coming in for a raid. Deviant, my friend, how are you? Can we get a shout out for the Deviant? Deviant's a good friend of mine. Really great person. It's Stitched. Welcome. Deviant is a great streamer. He loves some Splatoon, the Splatoon franchise. Loves some boomer shooters. Great stuff. What are we playing today? Checkmate Showdown. What is Checkmate Showdown? Tell me this. How are you today, Deviant? And for those coming in from Deviant stream, hi. It's nice to meet you. I'm Bogus Meat Factory. I'm a variety streamer who's been streaming now for over 10 years. We hit the over 10-year mark now, which is kind of crazy. And I play everything. Every genre, every genre, every era, every platform. I love it all. Okay, so now that I can move pillars, is this going to help me in some way? Great question. It's an amazing, it's like if you cross chess with Capcom versus games, a little less complex than either, but super fun and a great way to learn fundamentals. Oh, really? I'm gonna have to look at this one. Yes! Oh, you gotta love some Team Slippy here. We're Slippy apologists here in this household. We love some Slippy. How are you today, by the way? It's just nice to see you as well. Hello. I hope you're doing well. David, I gotta play that game. That's a must-have. Loadman 2 is probably your favorite in the series. Nice. I love that there is a lot of talk about like what are people's favorites and stuff like this. So I'd love to hear it. Okay, so that's lighting up that now. Oh, it's creating a bridge. Oh, it's creating a bridge. Is that a bridge that I can walk on? It is a bridge I can walk on. We're learning things. I think you would love it too. Ren is a major chess lover of all things. Oh, it needs to go there, duh. And now we can turn that back and the light can shine through there and it jumps over the other place. The Princess, if you ever want to, what sort of games do you like? I love getting, like, perspective is important for me. I love to hear folks' perspective on games and hear about the stuff that they love because that stuff it's important. Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Did that actually do something? Game? I am not getting feedback on this puzzle and it's terrifying me. Is it... Hold on. There's something over here too. Let me see. Is that blocking the sunlight? No, it's not. Okay, let's see what happens here now when we go into the spirit world. It's still doing its thing. Can I jump on it though? Yes, I can. Alright. Shoot projectiles at puzzle targets. Shoot projectiles. I didn't know I could shoot projectiles. Thank you very much, game. Is that the puzzle target you want me to shoot? We're learning. Every day we are learning. Are you the puzzle targets? No. Oh, you're the puzzle target. Maybe? No? Oh man, we hit ad breaks. Please bear with me. We'll be back in a moment. I'm going to figure this puzzle out. It's normally meant for me to take breaks, but I gotta... With projectiles. What the hell does that mean? The puzzle targets. What in the world does that mean? Do I need to be in the land of like the physical realm? Can I even do that in the physical realm? I don't even really know. I'm gonna find out in a second, I guess. I am. Can I fire in the real world? I can. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Physical place. Okay, we have learned of the ability. Oh my god. Oh my! I learned of the ability. My inability to actually climb and jump and platform. Hold on. We're gonna get this. And then we gotta find a save because like I can't leave this on all night. There's very set save points. Thank you for that. Shoot. There we go. I just had no idea. And then from there we can jump up here and get in. Aha! Are you a save point, please? Are we gonna turn back time? It's a sundial. Oh, okay, we gotta drop down. I hope. One of two. I see. Now that I know I can shoot projectiles. A thing we did not know we could do. We're now one step closer. One step closer now that we've got the projectiles. That's a big deal. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. I have a job to do. I can shoot projectiles now. Hello. Hi, guys. Jump on me. Always learning. Like, the key in any game is when you're starting a new game. It's like our first big dungeon in this game. And the key is always to be, like, what tools do I have? Am I using my tools to the fullest of their ability? And, like, what clues are the game giving us? I didn't pick up on that prompt. We weren't learning, like, we had to go back and forth to, like, oh, we can move those pillars. And now that we did that, like, we learned more, a little bit here and a little bit there every time. And now that I know how to shoot projectiles, because I didn't. Nothing was hinting at that. What? Did I not? Am I missing my mark? What's happening here? I think I'm too close. I think we're missing it. I just can't see it. That I'm missing it. No? Game? Am I supposed to do this one in the spirit realm instead? No. All right. What in the world am I doing here? Yeah, like, shoot targets at the thing. We did that previously. That should work now, right? Okay, game. That's... You can only move that pillar right there. You can't move it anywhere else. Do I need to get up higher? I probably... Oh, I see. It's just not reaching. The range isn't reaching. That's why this is like this. That's why this is like this. Wink. Or not. This is like dead center. Oh, I have to pull out. I have to pull out the Soul Reaver for some reason. Okay. Okay, game. All right. That was weird. Don't you wish you had the internal organs of your youth? What game was that? Why do I not remember any of these? So 1212, I'm guessing is Dark Sun? Oh god, don't fall off, dude. I mean, I wish I had the internal organs of my youth. That wasn't necessary, Raziel. That wasn't necessary to do the flip. You didn't need to do that flip. Just saying. Okay, where the heck are we? Oh, we're back here. All right. All right, game. Oh, okay. Thank you, creepy door. And then there we move this thing over and have a nice little solar eclipse. Huh. Fitting that we're playing this game today, I guess. Raziel, out of the way, buddy. Nope. Still the other way, Raziel. You can do this, dude. A total eclipse of the heart. Oh, do I need to break this? Or is it good? Let's see, hold on. Good. Do I need to break this with my... Do I need to shoot this? No. Let's look up and stuff. Let's see what we got. Oh, what are you? I think you're just like a little crystal light, I think. Not what we need to be doing. Let's put in position. And now what? Hold on. Game. Let's see. Do I need to go up topside? Yeah, the door's closed on me. Thank you for that tidbit of information. Oh yeah, we gotta climb up this way to get back up on the top. No time for love, Dr. Jones. Oh, shit, I hit the wrong button. Of course I did. We might have to save it and call it a night, because I'm just exhausted. Oh, yeah, we got this one to do, too. We didn't do this one either, so that's probably... Oh, wait, no, that's where we came down from. I'm not a smart man. I say this, and I mean this. That's where we got the thing. Oh, okay. So, hold on. Where did we go where there was like a clock? Like a... We went somewhere where there was a, Was it on the other side? I bet you it was. No, okay. No sleep till we win. I wish. But no. I'm a respectable dad. I got stuff. I got kids to take care of. I'm gonna figure this out though real quick. That's for sure, because I'm not losing progress. We're hit with two different things here. You know, do you lose the progress, or do you get less sleep? One thing I hate more than anything is backtracking, so... Yeah, we need to get the light down here, so hold on. Hi, guys. Come here, guys. And Uncle Scortorus, a big old smooch. Get in my scarf sack. Alright, where can I go to get back to the land of the living? This is the PC version, yes. Is there a... Oh, I have to go down here, don't I? Ah, crap. You made the mistake of sharing your secrets. You only sleep like 3 hours a day. Anyways, it's true. I only sleep like... it's more like 5, Liv. Come on now. I sleep about 5 hours a day. That's it. I get a nap in the day, though. I do get a nap. But yeah, no, sleep does not come easy for me. We cannot have 6. Nope, Deviant. Not this one. Okay, guys. Okay, you wanna do this? Fine. Oh, shush. I'll fight you too. Get apart. The PC version was a pain in the butt to get playing too. So like we had to, the cutscenes were all janked up. It wasn't working properly. And it says it has controller support, and it does not have controller support. So you have to use some mods to get this game actually working properly on PC. Even if it's on GOG, it's not functioning properly. No, I've got this. I got this. Got this. Look at this. We got this. Right, we're gonna turn back time. Maybe not. You would think, right? That's the big sun. It's a sundial. This would be where you need to be. So now I wonder, what am I doing here? I mean, this is obviously a thing. Oh, there we go. There we go. If we could turn back time. It's hard to figure out, like, what is manipulatable, and what's not. Beams, I like it. Oh snap, the door's closing. That's our first boss fight right here, right? Doors are closing, it says it's time to fight. There's the moon. When the moon hits your eye, like a big pizza pie.
As I neared the altar, I suddenly felt the Reaver quickening of its own volition. Just as in William's chapel, the balance of power tangibly shifted. Voracious and willful, the Soul Reaver was now in control. And I, merely its helpless puppet.
No.
The Reaver plunged itself into that mysterious altar, and devouring the energy that emanated from within, drained this place of its power. Thus sated, the Reaver released me, and I realized as I recovered control that these ancient shrines were forges, each purpose-built to enhance the Reaver with elemental power.
I believe that was actually also part of what their intentional original design was for the game in the first one. I believe.
Now I understood the purpose of the mysterious basins I had seen throughout my journey.
Oh.
They were elemental fonts, each attuned to a fundamental essence. When I forged the blade, every font in Nosgoth with the same elemental attunement was simultaneously quickened. The Reaver's enhancements were never permanent, but these fonts enabled me to re-imbue the blade by bathing it in the elemental energy distilled therein.
Okay. Can we do that now? You need to do it? No? Okay. Oh, I guess we're good then. Good to know. Oh, I see. Like, it's gonna change it. So if I change elements, that's gonna change it back. That's how we set our elements.
Concentric circles, one eclipsing the other. I recognized
this boy
this
band
symbol from the
haircut.
door sealing that other ancient shrine.
Resil's
the one I had
classic.
seen in the lake, outside the Sarafan stronghold. Perhaps now, armed as I was with the elemental power of darkness, I could return and gain entry.
It's that peak early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s hairstyle. Ooh la la. Whew. Ah, so dreamy. Okay, let's go. So it's time to leave, like we just leave. Interesting. So it's like we go to a new area, we get the element, then it gets us access to the dungeon where we have to fight the thing we gotta fight. Or not. Oh, that's a boss fight.
You're a ragged excuse for a savior.
Vorador.
I see my reputation precedes me.
It does.
All good, I hope? I've been watching you since you emerged from that accursed stronghold. Strange that your arrival coincides with the corruption of the Pillars. But I'm wondering, are you the catalyst of these events? Or the answer to them?
I don't know what you mean.
I will speak plainly then. I distrust your origins, stranger. Seeing you crawl from the putrid depths of Mobius's keep makes me question your purpose here. And what should I make of your appearance? Not human, clearly, and more demon than vampire. And the Pillars. It is no mere coincidence that your arrival in that clearing heralded the Pillars' decay. And so I ask you plainly, are you the instrument of the Pillars' destruction, or their salvation?
Neither.
I'm telling you, Dad.
Very well. Let us look at the other side of the coin.
It's our grandpa.
I have followed your journey and watched as you blithely unlocked secrets that have been sealed and forbidden for thousands of years. The path you have been treading is open to only one being. You don't know what you are, do you?
I have been many things. If you find me ignorant, enlighten me.
What's the point? This world is beyond redemption. Let the human cattle have it.
I would expect better than meek capitulation from you.
Meek capitulation.
Centuries of persecution have taught me well. 500 years ago, our race was nearly exterminated by the fanatical crusades of the Sarafan. And now the same sick drama unfolds again. In merely a decade, Mobius's cutthroat citizen army has nearly accomplished what the Seraphan could not. Vampires meddling in the affairs of men. Look where it's brought us.
What am I to make of these secrets I've uncovered, then? The depictions of the winged race, the pillars, and the Reaver.
Fairy tales, boy. The delusions of an ancient culture clinging to hope long after the world had discarded them. Their bloodline trickled away, until only one of the ancients remained, sustained solely by obligation and his unfaltering faith in the old prophecies. But you see, even if you are who you appear to be, it no longer matters. You're simply too late. Janos Audron, the Reaver Guardian, the last of the ancients, and my maker, was murdered by the Seraphan nearly 5 centuries ago.
Nope.
He alone would have the answers you seek, but his secrets died with him. I don't know how you've come even this far without his guidance, or without the Reaver, stolen these 500 years ago by the Seraphan. I'm afraid, my friend, that you and all of us are out of luck.
I got time travel powers, baby.
I had no less reason to trust Vorador than anyone else I had met. In fact, the ancient vampire was the most forthright being I had encountered thus far. If Janos Audron was the key to all this, then I would find him, and Mobius's time-streaming device would provide me passage. But first, I had to find a way back into the stronghold, and I suspected I would find the means within the lake's mysterious shrine.
I love that this is just a time travel story. Like, I love that it is like Back to the Future. Vampire Back to the Future. Sign me up. I'm ready for Vampire Back to the Future. We need to find a save point for the love of God. Please. Please. Please be over here. Please. Please, God. Make me a bird so I can fly far, far, far away. Dodge, my dude. Or back to normal weapon. Or hand to hand here. Yes. Wow. Which means that even the only... So this isn't even the only time travel vampire game you've played recently. You right? Time travel vampire is just a... It's like people who play Western fantasy computer RPGs from the 1980s to the early 1990s. Oh, it's a fantasy RPG, but you bet your ass you're going into space and fighting aliens. Like, that's always the case. Alright, so... Where's my save? Where's my save point, please? Ow. Going back to where we came. There's my save. There's my save. Leave me alone. I gotta save my game. It's kind of crazy, yeah. Like the way the games we have played lately have been a weird, like, a whole lot of weird stuff. They've been weird. Alright, we can finally quit. Alright, let's quit the game. Bam. Bam. Hi, everybody. Let's go find someone to raid. I'll be back Wednesday. Wednesday night. 9 p.m. Eastern. Because King Saltine has a score to settle. We've got to beat King's Quest 2. You bet your ass he's gonna do that. Hello. Lost my goddamn mind. Sorry. So he's gonna be Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Gonna finish King's Quest 2. Thursday morning at 9 a.m. theoretically, an Animal Crossing stream where I play in my daughter's Animal Crossing town, which is a lot of fun. We've been doing an Animal Crossing experiment, where we play the game and I pass it off to someone else for a week, and then they pass it on for like a 4-week cycle. My game, I played it last week. It's now passed on to the next person, and I still have the hankering to play Animal Crossing, so I figure I'll play with my daughter's town. And then Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern is more Gothic. We're like halfway through with that game, so I'm super stoked to see what that's going to lead to. Let's see if it's on. Who is on? What's going on, everybody? Oh yeah, let's go raid. Silent by the Sea is playing Lorbo 2, the Dagger of Amun-Ra. Let's go say hi to them. We haven't raided them in a very long time. So let's go see them. And I'll see you all on Wednesday night, 9 p.m. It was a pleasure meeting everybody. Thank you all for the raids and the follows. It was so nice to see all these new people. And we'll be back at this game next week, Monday. So just be prepared for that. If you want to see it, that's then. Okay? Have a great night. And as always, to humor, take care, everybody.
Fa, 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 fa. Fa, 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 fa. Fa, 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 fa. Fa, 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 fa. You say I'm just a punk and useless junk. I'll say I can hang on just a little bit more. I still can walk, I just can't run. But if you don't need me, dump me anytime. Oh, I'm turning back the clock, I'm turning back the clock. Oh, I'm a man who can't join the flock. How pathetic my life is.